Heidi Hogan neighbors, what's going on? It's Phil Russert. It is Friday night. We are a few minutes away from the Legendary Illustrations live drawing with Kenny and Will. Where there's a will, there's a way, and they killed Kenny Calderon. So we're gonna hang out and draw. You can draw with us, talk with us, and everything. I promise you, no artists will pass out for 4 hours on this show, and there'll be no blunts. Anyway, um, bad joke, I know. Love that artist. Absolutely love that artist. It was kind of depressing to see that video, but prayers and well wishes to that person. I will continue to love their work, and we all make bad choices sometimes. So, having said that, you know, take it easy on that person because we all make mistakes, and going live while high or drunk is probably not the thing to do. Anyway, so I was going on a little early. I'm going to have Kenny and Will on to do live drawing very shortly, and I'm not sure what they're going to draw yet. We take suggestions, and you can draw with us, or you can buy the art when it's done, or we can just chat. We talk everything from comics to whatever. Come on out. Um, it's amazing the attention span of people these days. Uh, hey, sexy bastard. Hey, Rick, what's going on? You are the sexy bastard, Rick. Um, So before we got on to the Legendary Live drawing, I just wanted to do a little more tragedy promotion and push um, because we are doing well for a small indie comic, but we're not on pace with the last campaign. And the whole idea is growth, right? We want to at least not go backwards, and it feels like we're going backwards. So you all know Kickstarter campaigns are a struggle and they're hard and I know everything's relative to someone. There are people looking at me and going, "What are you crying about?" I'm not crying. I'm appreciative of all the backers, and I'm in a good place. So I'm not complaining, but the idea is growth, and we're not on par to either meet or surpass the last campaign. I don't know if the economy has to do with that, or just there's even more Kickstarters or whatever the case may be. But if you've been curious about tragedy, I ask you to give it a shot and try it out. Speak to someone who has been reading it and following it because all the reviews have been great. So, and there's also just a lot of art and covers and everything. So, I just want to show you a few things I've added to the campaign, show you the campaign while we're waiting for Kenny and Will to come on in about 14 minutes. And then we'll get to live drawing and having some fun, just talking. Okay? Maybe we'll even talk about what's blowing up the internet. There's a couple things blowing up the internet the last 2 days, so it's crazy. Oh, the world of comics, so dramatic. Anyway, so just so you know, on the tragedy campaign, I have a mystery box again, and in the mystery box, you get a variant of issues 1, 2, and 3, and they could be foil covers. I give some great stuff. I don't give you my trash that inventory I just couldn't sell in my mystery boxes like some people do. I have people that walked away with a foil Ian Churchill cover in their mystery box, and that is going to come foil Sean Chen's foil, other or even just a Larry Stroman cover, So I promise you, the mystery boxes will not be a disappointment. They also will come with this metal print, comic size metal print of this is a prototype sample, by the way, of the Mike DeBoffo cover that'll come with them. So you're going to get a metal print and 4 issues, special issues, limited issues in the mystery box. So you might want to check that out. Um, some wonderful artists have donated sketch covers, but I'm going to give them money for them because I think everyone should get paid. Mike Gerlich did an awesome Breath of the Dragon on a sketch cover of issue 3 with his helmet off. That's probably the first illustration outside of reading the interior of the comic that has Breath of the Dragon without his helmet. That's Mike Gerlich. Follow him and support him. An Vu has another cover that she did, full color, and that is now available. And this is issue 1. So we have issues 1 and 3, and then for issue 2, we have. Sorry, it's in a really nice what do you call it, Mylar cover. bag. Mike Lilly, Marvel DC artist, did this amazing cover. I mean, she's jumping off the roof and doing a ballet thing and flipping down here and back and around, kind of like his Nightwing work, which is awesome. Now, Mike was asking for more because he's a Marvel DC artist. So this is going for 400. But if you're interested, it's on the campaign right now. It is the full book with this Mike Lilly cover, fully colored with a Copic marker. That's there. So it's issues 1 and 2 and 3 with the different artists available sketch covers. They're original art sketch covers, and the tiers are there. The other two are 150 and 125 or something like that. So they're less. So they're there, and we're adding on some Sean Carlson and some Kenny Calderon covers that are gonna be cool. Sean Carlson, the one cover is I saw it. It's amazing. It's Elektra versus Tragedy, original art sketch cover. And the other one is going to be Breath of the Dragon versus Deathstroke the Terminator. And they will be added to the campaign. If that wasn't enough, Kenny's doing Breath of the Dragon versus Taskmaster and Tragedy versus Zealot from Wildcats, which is Jim Lee's character. So there are going to be some awesome sketch cover art pieces coming up for the campaign. Hey, Keith, what's going on? So I ask you to please go check out the campaign. I really don't think you'll be disappointed. I'm going to show you quickly because we're going to have Will and Kenny on in less than 10 minutes or so. I'll show the trailer real quick for those of you who haven't seen it. Hey, Aaron, what's going on? Like, I want everybody to understand, I'm not complaining. I'm in a good place. I'm grateful for the support. We funded in 2 hours. It has slowed down. I'm just, as a business person, looking at growth, right? And when you look at the analytics, we're behind from where we were on the last campaign. So we're just not on par to meet the last campaign's backer number and monetary goal number. That could still happen, but we're not on pace for that. So I'm just being aware of that because the idea is growth. We want to reach more backers. We want to make as much money as we can so that we can invest it back in the books. For me, it's more about the backers. I would just love to have more backers, and we're behind on that. So issue 4 is coming out, and we're culminating to issue 5, which is the big climax to the first story arc. And if you don't know, it's a Tragedy is an Irish assassin in Manhattan, Hell's Kitchen, because that's where the Irish mafia in the 70s and 80s was, the Westies. And this book deals with her dealing with her own inner struggles and demons and the life she doesn't love and her sociopathic adoptive father, as well as dealing with rival mafias, metahumans. There's Chinese mysticism. There's Breath of the Dragon and his journey. And there are other characters that are introduced in this that people really enjoy. Joe and Tony are funny. They're also the buddy guys. They're loyal to each other and the wise guys. Tony is super strong and invulnerable. Joe, you find out, has a power in book 2. And Breath of the Dragon's power, I don't think has ever been done before. If he's within proximity of you, he can read your future 3 to 5 seconds. Therefore, he knows what you're going to do before you do it. So he's pretty much unbeatable. He also has his gauntlets, one with flamethrower and one with poison gas that paralyzes you temporarily. So hence Breath of the Dragon. He's also an amazing martial artist and acrobatic and all those things. So it's going to really be cool to see Sean Carlson and Kenny Calderon, their sketch covers. Breath of the Dragon versus Taskmaster and versus Deathstroke is going to be awesome. And Tragedy versus Elektra and versus Zealot. Those are going to be awesome. I can't wait to see those. Again, we have the awesome sketch covers now that are on the campaign. I'm going to show you the trailer real quick. Yeah, I know you didn't, Aaron. I appreciate you saying that. I just wanted everybody to be clear that I wasn't complaining, because some people, unfortunately, with social media, people always hear something different than what was said. It's a really weird phenomenon. So you got to put out disclaimers in this day and age. Here's the trailer real quick. I know some of you have seen this before, if not all of you, but someone new maybe coming on to this show or watching later, and the idea is to reach every person you can, right? One follower at a time. Share this out, please, guys, right now. Let everybody know about it. Here we go. That studio cover is by Kevin Stewart. So there's tragedy logo. Again, this story is an ongoing series. It's not limited, and it's not written like in 5 issue story arcs to where one bad guy solve the problem, move on, or a totally different story. There's continuity. It's written like old school comics, 70s, 80s, where the events lead into other events, and characters introduced that become major players later. There's a lot of plot threads being woven right now throughout the book, and as we're closing some plot threads, we'll open new ones. Villains and characters being introduced. As a matter of fact, a new villain is introduced in this issue, and a surprise. Um, you find out about a power of a villain that's been in the book that you didn't know about, which is pretty cool. It opens up with a really cool action scene. Ricardo is already on page 8 of book 5. It's coming along amazingly. He's doing beautiful work. He just keeps getting better and better, and I'm really excited about this. And it's gonna be collected in a trade in winter of next year. Aaron says Grace is an amazing character. Thank you, Aaron. Not to put you on the spot, but please feel free to share what you feel about the stories with everyone. You're a new backer. You jumped on book 3 and picked up all 3 issues. So you're new. But please let us know what you think. Anybody else who's read the book, please feel free to let everybody know. Here are some interiors. This is the splash page that opens the book. We have a Merc team that's actually going to assault the Chinese mafia headquarters, and there's going to be a big surprise. Ed Williams, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Um, they're gonna, they're not gonna, things aren't gonna go the way they expected. So, Ricardo doing great stuff, working together with me on different camera angles and like different perspectives, and he's just amazing at what he does. And Chris Sotomayor turned in all the colors. The book is being lettered now. This book is done. Okay, it's done before the campaign ends. It's ready to print, as I always am, because that's the way I feel it should be. I don't want you to wait any longer than you have to. I hope we don't have a repeat of the problems of last time, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, so we introduce a new villain in this issue. It's a lot going on in the issue. We have stretch goals. We've unlocked 2 so far with the Steph Wilson die cut sticker. If you love Steph Wilson's art, we've got die cut sticker. We unlocked a new chibi print of Joe, the head of the Italian Mafia, from Rob Powers. That goes with the ones that you've unlocked in the last 3. And have no fear, if you didn't join the last 3 campaigns and you didn't have them, they are available as add-ons if you really like chibi characters and you want to get the set. If we hit 8 grand, we'll unlock something else. We are about 5,600, 5,605. So we got a ways to go. I need your help. I need you to help me give you free stuff. I like to give free stuff. Um, we were at 13 grand last campaign. We would have been at 17, but we had a lot back out at the last minute. But 13 grand was amazing. It was a jump from the 10 grand of the two campaigns before. I'm really hoping to meet that or surpass that. But more importantly than the money, although I need the money to make the book, would be the backers. We had 260 backers last time. We're halfway there, but we're behind based on the analytics of the last campaign. So I really need you guys to give it a chance. I know that you work hard for your money and you're investing in something that's new, not proven, but there are plenty of people that can tell you how well this book is written and how beautiful it's illustrated and colored and how good it is. Um, Characters you can invest in and enjoy. You don't see everything that's coming. I surprise you a lot. It's not generic, I promise you. Um, and if Howard Mackey from Marvel and DC and Chuck Dixon can say it's well written, I'll take it. I'm grateful and I'll take it. So I need you guys, please give it a shot, share it out. Um, just put your trust in me. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. In worst case scenario, you'll have toilet paper for a week. So, and just so you know, the first book is 30 issues, 30 pages of story. The second book is 28 pages story, and the third book is 36 pages of story. We're at 94 pages for the first three books, and now we're on book four, which is 28 pages, I believe. So I'm giving you your money's worth. There's meat in these books. And as much as there's interesting exposition, the pacing is solid. It's not dragging you down and bogging you down. It's also not too fast. I don't talk down to the reader when I write. Um, I give you surprises. They're really cool characters, cool power sets. I think it's written well and differently. If you like John Wick and Boondock Saints and Big Trouble in Little China, throw it all together and then add cyborgs and metahumans and were-tigers and all this other stuff. You got some cool stuff and rival mafias, some really cool stuff on the way. This book is really just getting started. I have 26 issues written. 25 is a 50-page giant-sized book. And I have so many cool things going on. There's humor in this book. There's tragedy in this book. Please check it out. We have some awesome covers right now. Two by Kenny Calderon, who's going to join us tonight on the live drawing that you should check out. One is a manga cover, and one is just a dynamic, awesome cover. Will Pleydon has a cover for book one, and will have another cover coming up soon. We added this, like I said, the Mike Lilly. He's a Marvel DC artist. Cover. Look at her jumping and flipping and moving around. Very dynamic. Filled the whole thing, colored in Copic marker. Um, it is a little more pricey, but I don't really set the prices on these, but it's well worth it. It's book two, the full 28 pages with this amazing cover that you can get CGC'd by a Marvel DC artist, Mike Lilly. We've got this one by An Vu, which she sells very well. She sold on every campaign she sold. So this is available. Mike Gerlich. It's actually the first exterior art that has Breath of the Dragon with his mask off. So it's pretty cool. Then we got blank sketch covers. We've got the studio cover. This is Kevin Stewart. It's going to be changed. Actually, Maura Marie, she did it where the tombstone actually looks engraved in the tombstone. So it's really, really cool. Really, really cool. This cover, originally Joe Prado was going to color it, but unfortunately with his DC Marvel deadlines, he had to back out. But John Livesay, he's another DC inker who's phenomenal, is inking it. Unfortunately, the change occurred after the launch, and somebody backed it, so I couldn't change Joe Prado's name out of the tier description. So please be aware that if you were looking at Joe Prado, he is not the inker on this cover, unfortunately, but another DC inker is John Livesay. Alex Sinclair will be coloring it very soon, as John is almost done inking it. Look at those pencils by Jose Luis. It's amazing. That's killer. And we have that as an add-on if you want just this cover, pencil cover like this, comic size. So if you love this art, you can just get it as an add-on, $5. Kevin West, amazing artist with Sotomayor colors. Beautiful piece. Look at that. Beautiful. I mean, three-quarter body and then a bust in the back. Just Breath of the Dragon looking badass. Fantastic. Kevin West is an amazing artist if you haven't been following him. And he's a Marvel DC artist as well. Did Guardians of the Galaxy, a bunch of other stuff in the 90s. Ruth Lucas with Alex Sinclair colors. She did a beautiful job. Great composition. Of course, Alex, being one of the best colorists, some would say the best colorist in the industry. In my opinion, I get to work with two of the best in Marvel and DC, and that's Alex and Chris, which are both good people, really pro and fantastic at what they do. Kevin Stewart, Steph Wilson with Carrie Ann colors. Another great cover, and if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. Steph is always one of the biggest sellers, and you have the die cut sticker that's going to be available as well of this picture. Hey Rod, Envu with another cover. This is a published cover. She painted it. It's beautiful. Check this out. It's available. Here we are with Kenny. They killed Kenny Calderon, who's about to be up here drawing in a minute. Here's the first of the two covers he did. Funny story is Kenny had a cover of Breath of the Dragon that I really liked, and I was going to make it for this book. But then he just drew this to be an original piece of art to sell as a tier to help boost the campaign in the middle of the last campaign. And I love the art. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I want this, but I already put it up as a tier, and I'm a man of my word. So I did not, what's up, bud? So I didn't take it down as much as I wanted the art because it's not right. I'm a man of my word. And then I decided, you know what, I want this to be, he colored it. And I was like, oh my God, this needs to be a cover. What the hell are you doing to me, Kenny? So the art sold to Russ, I believe is his name. And as much as I wanted to own all the published art, I wasn't gonna change it because I made it a cover. It wouldn't be right, and then it was picked up. So congratulations, he has the only published piece of work from this book other than me. And it's just a really dynamic cover. Look at them fighting tooth and nail, falling through a window, wall, whatever it is. There's just debris everywhere. Dynamic. And then I asked Kenny to do a manga cover. So his other cover is going to be for book 5. A manga cover. Because I just wanted to check out a manga style. It's kind of like the Cowboy Bebop style. Really cool looking. Really awesome. Sorry, guys. I'll get you on in a minute. Figures that this time you guys are on time, and I'm the one who's holding you up. So that's a really cool manga cover. Kenny did everything, colors included. So that's how talented and multifaceted he is. So we got that if you like manga. Jason, I think it's Perot, if not Parrot. I apologize. If Jason ever watches my streams, he can clear that up for me, but he doesn't. It's his first published cover. So why don't you give Jason a little love and check it out? He was one of the cover contest entries, and he didn't win that specific contest, but I wanted to make it a cover. And then we've got Carl Allen Wiles. It's his first published work, and I really liked what he did as well. He was a cover contest entry. Yes, it's all beautiful work. Thank you. I agree with you. So that's a cover. So show Carl some love for his first published book. Ray Acevedo is back with another cover. Beautiful job. Ray did everything from colors. He wound up forgetting that he didn't send it to me, but he sent me another one with white brick in the background with the black border, which looks kind of cool. So, I don't know. This might be subject to change, but if you really like the red, just let me know in your survey. So beautiful work by Ray as usual. Becky Fuller did a cover. So that was that. She was a cover contest entry. Brian Silverbacks, he did an awesome cover. I wanted to get him on a cover for a while, so I asked him to do one. He did. Very cool concept. Nice symbolism and composition. And he did a blood splatter version. If you like the blood splatter variant, you can get that or you can get the set. Why not? Very cool. Great job by Brian. All trade dresses by Maura Marie Powers. Lindanovich, really cool, gritty cover. Asian dragon in the background, Chinese dragon, very cool. Rob Powers just threw in some red for me. Trade dress by Mora, just awesome job. Then we got the book of covers. The book of covers cover the first two issues. We have covers by Ian Churchill, Will Spatasio, Larry Stroman, Xuan Chen, Chance Wolfe. I'm blanking. Geraldo Borges, a bunch of others. Then we have the mystery box, and I just want to remind you, I do not give you crappy mystery boxes that are inventory that I'm just looking to get rid of. I do not. The last campaign, people got Ian Churchill foil covers, Sean Chen, Edan foil covers, Larry Stroman cover. You'll get some really nice stuff. I promise you. And you get all four books, 1, 2, 3, and 4, random, and they will be good stuff. I do not give you bad stuff. I promise. I don't. When I say bad stuff, I mean like I don't give you whatever didn't sell. Because actually everything's selling, thank God. I give you really quality stuff. And I'm adding the comic size print of Mike DeBalfo, which is this comic size. All right, this is just a prototype. It'll be even nicer, more beautiful. This will come with it. So you get 4 issues and this for $65. Can't beat that, guys. I'm not trying to rake you over the coals. So please, please check it out. We sold out of 25 pretty fast last time, so I went up to 50 on the limit this time. It's only going to be 50 made. Only 50. We got sticker add-ons if you like. These stickers are available. That's an Ian Churchill sticker. Hey, Rally, what's going on, bud? How was the gym today? Rob Powers mask, and this is interiors by Ricardo. We pulled it right out of the book. That's Tony. Again, I mentioned the chibi prints. If we get to, we unlocked at 5,000 the newest chibi. So if you want to pick this up, if you haven't been following the last 2 campaigns, you can get the chibi set. You'll have all 4. Again, if you love this cover by Jose Luis as is, we have a comic size print. Boom. That's you. All you. $5. Comic size print. You can buy the original color when it's colored by Alex Sinclair and inked by John Livesey, and you can frame them next to each other. And I put the Kevin West up there because you just have to. This is the Kevin West original cover inked. We have comic size if you want to do that. Check it out. And then you can make any one of them a virgin, or you can make them a foil, or you can make them a foil virgin, or you can add on a virgin to make it a set. Okay? So we cover the bases. And then we have original tiers by Ricardo Silva. Original art tier, 4 out of 10 are gone. 11 by 17, full figure character inked with the background. I'm just telling you now, if you haven't seen Ricardo's work, he's insane. He's insane. I'm going to show you real quick some of his work, and then we're going to get to our awesome artists. All right, so just to give you an idea of what you get from Ricardo if you were to do the tier. Okay, let me show you a really good. All right, now that's obviously colored, but look at that. That's his work, and there's black and white. This is what you get from Ricardo if you do the tier, but it'll be 11 by 17. This is what the man can do, and it'll be a full figure with a background. 150. Now, just mind you, it's coming from Brazil because he's shipping it, so it's $30 shipping. My apologies. We don't have control over shipping, but this is the kind of work you get from him. Where are you going to find that for 150 at 11 by 17? I'll tell you where. On Tragedy's campaign. So what are you waiting for? All right. So I'm just going to remind you right now, and then we'll go over again later because I didn't want to interrupt these guys again with my nonsense in marketing. We're at $5,605, 136 backers, 22 days to go. We're doing well, but we're not on par to meet the last campaign. I really would love to show growth. Please come check it out. Give us a try. Tragedy right now on Kickstarter. If anybody doesn't mind, please drop the link in the chat for me. All right. So without further ado, we got the legendary live stream going on tonight where we draw. We take your suggestions and we draw. If we take your suggestion and you are interested in the art when it's done, you get first dibs at 30% off and free shipping. If you don't want it, then it goes back to its regular valued price and shipping. Good news is shipping from them is United States. Oh no, Will is Australia, but we'll work it out. Anyway, thank you, Aaron, for doing that. So we've got they killed Kenny Calderon. What's going on?
Welcome, everyone. Good evening. Happy Friday.
You're a little low on your audio, bud.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you're low.
I'm low.
And we've got where there's a Will, there's a way Pleydon.
Hey, good morning, good evening. I don't know where I am.
You got that deep Australian voice, the crikey. Look at that.
Crikey.
Yeah. He's going to wrestle an alligator for you live after the show.
It's good to be here.
Good to have you guys here. It's been a trying week, so I don't know if I'll be able to stick it out the whole 2 hours. I'm going to try.
That's fine.
So, Will, what are you drawing today?
Well, we threw these suggestions out, and we had a good response this time. I mean, it seems like it's picking up every time we do it. Charles Morgan suggested The Dark Knight, the Batman, The Dark Knight from Frank Miller. And I don't think I've ever, maybe a long time ago I've drawn him, but I thought it's time for another go. And I guess I had him on my list for legendary portraits anyway, so I'm going to do it in that style, but I'm just going to move the list forward. So if it doesn't sell today, it'll just go on the Legendary Portrait Series 2 group when we get a live sale. So The Dark Knight returns. There's a difference.
And Kenneth, what are you doing?
I thought that this week I would do a female character, right? The past few weeks I've been getting requests for different female characters. So tonight I'm doing Magic of the New Mutants.
Nice.
Cool. Are you doing the most updated Magic or like from the New Mutants?
Yeah, with the black.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
The adult Magic, the badassery Magic. Cool. You did you rough it out already? Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Oh, you know what you guys should do next time? The Valkyrie Storm.
Ooh. Yes.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Remember that storyline when they went to Asgard and they were
absolutely
and her and Mirage and then became Valkyrie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, cool. She even held Mjolnir for a while.
I got to say, I was pretty close to shifting at the last minute to do Silver Surfer. That came up in the feed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was tempted to do that one too.
So
what was that?
But you already did a Silver Surfer recently, so I was glad that you chose to go with something else.
I wouldn't mind doing a Galactus, though. That'd be good.
Yeah.
I haven't done a Galactus.
Oh, dude, you should put that in the portraits.
Yeah. What, just have his boot? It's got to be to scale.
And I was just about to see if Gerald was with us. What's going on, bud? Gerald is a regular with us. He, of course, is the host of Comics Cast, Let It Out, every Sunday at 1 p.m. He's been trying to reach Will, but Will is just a superstar, and he's a snob, and he's been snubbing him. So
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And Gerald was like, Phil, what the hell, man? Why is he being such a jerk? I was like, I don't know. He just gets like that sometimes. I was kidding. So Gerald, Will is drawing. I'm going to get us back to there. Dark Knight Returns Batman. And Kenny Calderon is drawing Magic from the New Mutants / X-Men. So that's going to be a fun matchup for you. Maybe have her teleporting out to / Batman or something. That'd be cool. Share this out, people, please. We appreciate the love and the 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 support. These guys work very hard at what they do, and they are every bit the talent of any bigger name. And jump on board because as soon as they become big names, you're all gonna get jacked up. No, I'm just kidding. Um, we're gonna do live YouTube streams where we fall asleep for 4 hours. Get I was so shocked by that. I mean, everybody makes bad judgments sometimes, so I'm not knocking the person. A lot of people are knocking the person. All of a sudden, they're a bad person. I'm not saying that. I don't know the person to say they're a bad person. It was a bad decision, but I love their art. I'll always love their art, and I don't think they're a bad dude at all. I think they just made a stupid decision under inebriated circumstances.
Mm.
So give the dude a break because we've all gone and done our rants, myself included, or whatever, you know, as a legend in the industry, and that doesn't have to change. So give the dude a break. But there's been a lot of controversy in the industry lately. We've got the Clayton Crane thing with Black Flag. We've got the gentleman artist that I just mentioned, which I'm not here to shame anybody, so I'm not going to shout out the name. And then the other gentleman that was really nasty to Afua Richardson, and that sparked stuff. And then I don't know. It's just
Calm
can't we
down,
all just get
everyone.
along?
Just calm down.
Yeah, what? It's
Grab
comics.
some-
People relax.
Yeah. Just go some ice cream and watch Star Wars. Let's just calm down.
I agree, man. I agree. Speaking of Star Wars, I just finally got to get through the Bad Batch. I mean, it took
Oh,
me
yeah.
like a year to do it. I'm not into the military aspect of Star Wars, really, to be honest, so I was kind of reluctant. But that was a damn good series.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It was really good, and the characters were well done. You were invested in them. The story plots, they finally addressed the clones in a way that made sense to people. Were they just always evil, or was there some sort of chip in the and
Yeah.
this and that? So, fantastic. The story. If you haven't watched Bad Batch, look, I'll be the first to tell you. I think Disney has been amiss lately on the last 3 or 4 series they've done. I'm not gonna lie, it seems like they've kind of fallen down. But Bad Batch is solid. Yeah, man, with Camino, that was rough. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, they address a lot, and it's really good. And the characters are interesting. They're not just these generic clone guys, or whatever. It's fun, and it answers a lot of questions. It fills in a lot of gaps. Bad Batch was cool. I look forward to the next season. Um, as far as Disney shows, I just started Miss Marvel. Again, I don't get to watch much TV. It's usually like when I'm crashing at 2 in the morning, I get an episode in or something. Um, I watched the first one. I'm not the target audience. It's for younger audience. Um, I didn't think the show was bad at all. I thought it was okay. It just wasn't for me yet. I I'm fine with things as long as they're not trying to preach at something or alienate some sort of demographic or send me any major messages. Just entertain me.
Yeah.
I'll find my moral staples where I feel I should find them, not in your opinion in a book.
Yeah.
A lot of people went nuts about She-Hulk twerking. I don't care. It was an attempt at humor. What I do care is she went on a big diatribe speech in episode 1 about how she has it worse than the raging Hulk because she gets catcalled and she's not treated like a professional because she's a woman. And then there you are twerking in the office for everybody to see with your glass windows. And then your boss shrugs it off and walks away. But if that was a man twerking, that would have been sexual harassment. That shit would have been over. So just be consistent. If you want to make that message about, women being oppressed, then be consistent with it because she doesn't look oppressed when she's twerking her ass off in her place of business and gets away with it.
I after our discussion a couple of weeks ago, I went and watched it, and I just thought, what a missed opportunity for a great character. When I watched up to date, like I haven't watched anything that's gone on this week, but I just thought it's a cool character. It was always a cool character. Why trivialize it? You know, like
And
there's some great stories they could have done. I just felt like I felt like the story was just empty. I was like, come on.
you
I
know
mean,
what
I'm
it is
hoping it's an
John
origin thing,
Byrne
and
did the
it's
cheesy take on it, and that's the most popular She-Hulk. So I think they're going for that flavor,
yeah.
but that's fine. But the problem is, you can't give us this lighthearted John Byrne flavor while you're giving this heavy speech about how women are oppressed and she has it worse than the Hulk who watched his parents kill each other. It's like you can't. I think that's where it goes wrong.
I just want good stories. You know, like
Right.
just can you just get someone to write a good story? And I don't care. You know, like who the character is, whether it's Moon Knight or She-Hulk or whatever. I just want a good, solid story I can invest in. Not want something that feels like a show back at the local fair that kind of 5 minutes in you go on board. Like, is there something
Right.
else? You know?
Well, the comedy, like I said, the comedy doesn't bother me of it. It's when they go seriously preaching at you that bothers me. I
Right.
mean, there's a lot of people talking about, oh, you're just not secure in your manhood or you're a misogynist. No, no, nobody wants to watch something that's telling them they're bad for being what they were born. That's just silly.
But
Um,
I just followed Kenny's advice and went back and watched Punisher and Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
listen, that Daredevil hallway fight
Yeah,
goes down in
gosh,
history, man.
Top notch.
so
Now,
good.
the Wrecking Crew was horrible. I don't care if She-Hulk is the greatest show on earth. The Wrecking Crew was terrible.
Yeah.
That was just such a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, so was Titania. I get you're not going to do the dominatrix outfit of Titania, but what was with the? She looked like Charo.
I thought I was the only one that saw that.
She looked like Charo. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow. I thought I was the only one that caught that.
Yeah, man. It was just like it was so glammy. But even then, it's like okay, they're going for the light feel, so that didn't bother me so much. But the Wrecking Crew, oh
Yeah.
my lord, they were just regular thugs with these electric weapons. Like, come on, guys. Maybe they like. Well, they mentioned they were Asgardian weapons, right? So there's not like they're gonna upgrade later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I I I just I feel writing has become not just like preachy, but it's also lazy. It's just
Yeah.
there's no, it's 6 or is it 8 episodes? I don't know, but it just feels like um there's no depth to any of it. And I like even John Byrne's run, as comedic as it was, and how they kind of made her all sexy and stuff. There were still some moments of depth to the character.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think this lacks depth, and I don't know, just not my thing. If you like it, good for you. I'm glad, but I don't know. Moon Knight. My problem with Moon Knight was that it was just too much of the dealing with the split personalities, and there was no Moon Knight.
Right.
And then he's flying at the end. Um, Moon Knight doesn't fly. It's like they went so supernatural with him that I don't know. I just feel like they kind of went away from the character a bit. They did a great job with the dual personality,
Yeah.
but I think it consumed too much of the show. And I think there
Right.
wasn't enough Moon Knight, and there wasn't enough Moon Knight being actually Moon Knight.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Oh, look, I'm not. I'm not going to profess to know Moonlight. I was never a big fan as a kid. I never really got the books, um, but yeah, look, I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed the quality of the cinematography in it. I thought that was quite
Yeah,
well shot, and that was really nice. And when you
agreed.
can tell something that's a bit budgety, and that's something that's got a bit of
Right, She-Hulk
quality
is
behind it.
budgeted,
Yeah, it
and
feels
Moon
a bit
Knight was yeah.
slim. It's like kind of like the difference between the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. You can feel the quality difference,
Yes,
you know.
agreed.
Um, but yeah, look, I didn't mind it. I sat through it, but I did struggle at times because it just wasn't one of my characters I was in love with. But yeah, I'd be interested to speak to someone that's been a super fan their whole life, um,
Yeah, I
and
know.
see what
Like
they
Chris
thought.
Campana is a huge Moon Knight fan, and he loved the series.
Yeah,
So I mean, good. Then before that was Ben Kenobi, or after that was Ben Kenobi. again, there seems to be this common writing style that started with Star Wars Episode 8, went
Mm,
into Boba Fett, went into Ben Kenobi, went into Moon Knight, where you have to tear down the hero to this
yeah.
jellyfish lump of quitter, and then somebody else who's a new character, mind you, that wasn't even part of the lore that they just introduced,
Yeah.
is the one to help them raise up and be a hero again. Now, there's nothing wrong with that story. I have a story similar to that. A hero that fails and they have to find themselves again. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. But you did 4 series in a row like that. It's like,
Yeah, you can't keep exhausting the Joseph Campbell stuff. I think like I really appreciate Lucas and what he did. And look, I'm a massive Wars fan. I love it. It's my bread and butter. But um, you can't keep visiting the same structure. I feel like you've got to start. And I love watching all the behind the scenes making of. I love that. I love watching Industrial Light and Magic do their thing and the concept drawing. And give me more of that all the time. But they keep tapping back all the time to Macquarie's art. They keep tapping back to Joseph Campbell. They keep trying to mine what's there. And like I love anything that's set in the original trilogy era. I love it. I mean, you got
oh
me
yeah,
straight away. But I guess like I don't know but I'm just being cynical, but I feel like every single director gets up and says, I was a super fan when I was a kid, but they don't quite get the property. Like, I think, how can
yep.
you not get it? Like, do you know what I
Like
mean?
like
Like,
Timothy Zahn when he wrote the Thrawn trilogy, he got it.
yes,
You
that was a
felt like
great,
you were watching the next series of movies.
yes. And they had that sitting there, and they still
Yeah,
went and did Last Jedi. But I just think, like, I don't know whether you really are a super fan or whether you're just saying it because you want to get the
of course,
the audience of people that are at conventions and things to say, yeah,
of
they're one of
course.
us. Like, it just becomes a bit transparent, like, or when you get the
Cool.
super beautiful actress that gets up and goes, yeah, I was a nerd. No, you weren't.
You
You weren't a nerd, dude.
He
Sorry.
just handed you 50 issues and said, "Hurry up and catch up."
Uh,
Yes.
By the way, I'm going to share real quick. Rod is drawing with us,
Oh,
and he's
nice.
doing this Superman.
nice.
Excellent.
Very cool. Um,
Is he doing a Dark Knight Returns Superman or just Superman?
No, that's the Dark Knight Returns.
yeah, because
Superman.
look at the
Nice.
hair. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's the John Byrne She-Hulk, Charles, breaking the fourth wall. That's all fine. The comedic part of it's not a problem for me. It's the preaching, men are bad thing and how she has it worse, and then she's twerking and just like it's like, well, what do you want to be? Do you want to make a serious statement, a social statement, or do you want to joke around? Pick one, because it really doesn't work when you try to throw both in together. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, never did. I mean, look at Last Jedi. When he threw that saber over his shoulder, I look at
Oh.
my wife and go, "What the fuck are we in for?"
Mm.
Mhm.
I was like, "What the hell are we in for?" When he threw that saber over his shoulder after that intense ending in that beginning, I was like, I was literally like scared, like, "Oh my god, this movie's gonna suck," and
Mhm.
sure enough, it did.
Yeah, it was
Now,
hard work. That's for
there's
sure.
another phenomenon that's going on is if you don't like a movie, especially a Disney property, somehow you're hating or like you're a bad person because you expressed an opinion that was negative. Um, Ebert and Siskel did it for decades. Nobody called them haters. You can
True.
express that you don't like a movie without it being hate. No one's angry. We're just saying it sucked. I mean,
True.
why settle for mediocre? If we felt it was mediocre, why should we settle and just stay quiet? We have a right to let these people know we want better for our money.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong. Now, obviously, there are some people that they go overboard. And it's like easy, but you don't have to get that animated. But to just assume it's hate or you're this or you're that or you're an ist or you're a phobe or whatever, just because you don't like a show is just so silly. I don't understand that reaction. It's like you have to fall in line or there's something wrong with you.
Mm.
We can all like and not like what we want to. And please feel free to tell us how much you like it and why. And anybody who comes on and bashes you for that, they're just as much a schmuck.
I think
There's
we
no
just go back to
wrong.
the same prescription. Go have some ice cream and watch Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Calm down. Calm down.
Look, there's no wrong. An opinion is subjective. There's
You've
no
still got the movies you
objectivity
love.
to an opinion.
No one's ruined your childhood.
Right.
It's all right.
Right.
It's all
Like,
right.
look, I didn't care for the prequels. I thought they were terrible, but it doesn't take away the original trilogy for me. I mean,
No, I can go watch that anytime. Like it doesn't. Will I watch episode 8 again? Probably never. Like it's
right.
not really my thing. It's not my treatment of Luke or the characters, but it's good to see Filoni and Favreau re-correcting the
Oh, I
compass
love the
on.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, and even in Book of Boba, when you see Skywalker, like they've readjusted. They got it. They knew what was going on, and they had to recorrect the ship.
And the problem with Book of Boba Fett, more than anything, was that they did the Mandalorian first. The Mandalorian is who Fett was: mysterious, dark, serious. And once you took the mystery of Boba Fett away by pulling that mask off, and no offense, that guy's not a good actor, and he's chubby. You got the chubby, bad acting Boba Fett. You kind of took away what made the character interesting, his mystery. Like Maul is not supposed to talk a lot either. He's going to show you what he's going to do. He's not going to talk. He was very quiet and soft spoken, and I mean, people love mystery. Boba Fett's helmet never came off. And in what was it, 6 minutes of all that movie time, he became a huge character because of his mystery and his badassery. And you took both of that away.
He was the mysterious gunslinger, the Clint Eastwood, the man with no name. I mean, that was what made him great. I mean, you didn't know who he was. He was there for 5 seconds and he was dangerous. Did I feel they fell short in Return of the Jedi? Yeah, absolutely. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was...
He died by accident?
Yeah.
Like that's how I would die in the Star Wars universe. I don't pay to see that.
Rod makes a good point too. It's like a talking Snake Eyes, the new Snake Eyes movie. Now the choreography was good, but it wasn't. You took away from the character.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, yeah, the Boba Fett death, and it wasn't a death, but it was bad. Now, Boba Fett wasn't a terrible series, but it did fall short for me. And part of, again, I don't think some of it. Hey, Nate, what's going on? Nate Melendez is going to have a cover for the next tragedy book after this campaign. He's a really talented artist. Nate, drop your links. Book of Boba Fett fell short, and some of it wasn't their fault. It's just because Mandalorian came out first, and it, you can't repeat what the Mandalorian did, and it's really the same character.
But Boba Fett in Mandalorian was fantastic. Like when he came on and he took those stormtroopers out.
Right.
And he got the uniform. That was fantastic. That was what the Boba Fett action we'd always waited for should have been. Like when they were on that awesome scene when Mandalorian and the baby is sitting on the temple, and you see the Slave One ship just go by slowly. I thought, this is how it's supposed to be done. Like, this is great. Like,
agreed.
You had me. And then, but yeah, I just think it was to set him up as the Tony Soprano of Tatooine. I don't know. It kind of felt. Again, like, can we go do something off world? Can we go do something interesting? Can we go get some bounties?
And that's the funny thing. Ben Kenobi should have stayed on Tatooine, and Boba Fett should have been the one to go across the galaxy. You could have did the bounty hunter wars.
Well, you can see where they're flipping their budgets. Like they're putting things where money where the big stars are. I guess.
Ben Kenobi didn't make sense to me on many levels. Now, some people are like, of course it made sense for he lost this, he lost that. Yeah, but here's the thing. Ben Kenobi was so strong with the Force and a believer of the Force that he sacrificed everything to stay there and watch Luke. So what's the first thing he does? He abandons him. Okay? That makes no sense. The second thing is, why? Yes, it was devastating what happened with Anakin. But I would like to. But his character was much stronger than that. He was a master. He was a master taught by Qui-Gon, who was a rogue Jedi and was stronger than anybody. And he was prepared for shit to go wrong. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't deal with inner conflict of the betrayal. Of course he should. But to totally give up and quit, someone said, well, he's also he's trying to stay incognito. But well, yeah, I get that. But he watched people get abused and just stood there. He didn't do anything, or he just you don't have to show your Jedi powers to be able to stand up for what's right.
True.
I could buy all of it, except for the fact that this new character that introduced Reva gets like completely impaled by a lightsaber, and then manages to get to a ship. Like get to a ship, fly the ship to Tatooine, walk across the desert, battle the two Uncle and Owen, chase the kid into the canyon, and then carry the kid back with a hole in the gut. Like, what?
And here's the thing.
What
it looked
happened
like it was
there?
her chest, not her gut, but I don't know.
Well, straight through. Like she was shish kebabbed, Like
here's what's more unbelievable. Would Vader really leave her like that and not just totally make sure she's dead?
Yeah.
Vader wouldn't just do that and walk away. He would have made her pay. He would have killed her.
If anyone knows about recovering from a battle and coming back to get vengeance, it's him.
And exactly. And here's the funny thing. There were so many inconsistencies with the power of the Force and stuff, too. She's sitting there with this catter trying to blast that door, and all she does is put her fucking saber through it. It was like, why didn't you just do that to begin with? and Ben Kenobi's using his Force powers, and he's not detected by Vader, who's in the same complex.
Yeah.
Fighters can come up. Snow speeders, who all of a sudden fit like 12 people, can show up to an Imperial base without being detected, and TIE fighters aren't out in swarms. It was too many convenient plot devices. It was poor. And by the way, he's walking with her under his coat and nobody notices with all those people walking around. What?
Yeah.
I think what did it for me was the fact that he wasn't clean shaven. He was the only guy on that deck that wasn't clean shaven.
Yeah.
Right. He's the only officer that looked like a scrub.
They did that in Rogue One too. Like I love Rogue One, but you're walking through there with a little goatee, like you're going to stand out like a sore thumb, Like.
Right. And then the other thing was, I didn't mind putting Leia in there. She did a good job. You were trying to build that relationship to show why she would go to Ben to save her. Fine.
And she was good. She was a good little actress. Yeah. I thought she was good.
I even liked that they gave you the fan service of that fight with Darth Vader, and you showed how Vader got the cut on his head. And it was dramatic at the end. That was fine. It was a bit redeeming for me in that series. But the first 4 episodes leading up to it were such a disappointment for me. The finale, better. Still had issues, but better. And Vader wouldn't have been fooled by the 2 transports. He can sense Kenobi.
Yeah. I just felt when I watched that and not the snow, they're not called snow speeders, but what are they, T-47s or whatever they are. But I just felt like the scaling was a bit off. Like I just felt like they should have been bigger. Like it's like I don't know. It's like I wouldn't have bought that if I was in a video game. Like I just kind of felt like it was a bit like the ships were a bit small in mass. It might have been the camera angle or just me, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just felt like it was a bit odd.
I agree.
Listen to me picking on something that's in my lounge room. Like that I've wanted my whole life. But yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Now, again, if you liked Ben Kenobi, cool. This is not an attack on somebody for liking it. That's another weird thing is people, they defend these shows as if you're attacking a family member. It's really freaking weird.
Yeah, I actually liked Kenobi. I did. I didn't care for Book of Boba Fett as much. I wanted to like it, but give me a Dengar. Get a Dengar in there. Get an IG-88. Get where's Forlom and Zuckuss and all these underworld belly characters that we'd met a long time ago. Bosk. Give me a Bosk. Or a Sing or get any of these bounty hunters that they could use. But
or a Sing would be cool. But I do like that they used Cad Bane. And they did a great job with him.
Cad Bane was good. Yeah, he was good. Not enough of him. Like I just think like his drive through. It's the same with Qui-Gon.
Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah, he was cool out of the comics. Yep. But,
you know what always baffles me? Why don't they do an animated series continuing from Return of the Jedi?
Yeah. Well, you never know.
The actual voices of them, or you could have Luke's voice. But it's animated, so you don't have to worry about the aging thing.
Well, they don't even need to do that anymore. Like they've got this program that de-ages
Yeah, but
voices, but
sometimes
they've
it's
also
hit or miss.
like the voice in Book of Boba Fett wasn't Hamill at all.
No.
So it'd be interesting to see. Like
Wait,
they're
wasn't
getting
it? I
closer
thought
and
it was.
closer. Hey,
No, it was Hamill's voice.
it was Hamill's in Mandalorian. I don't know if it's Hamill's in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, really? I gotta check
Yeah,
that out.
but they're getting closer. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing a original trilogy characters movie with what they can do with the deepfake stuff. Like it's getting so close. Like the jumps they're making. Like how far is it away before you see actors sign deals for a 90-year deal or something now where they can just keep reusing you when you're long gone and old, you know?
Right. That's true too. That's a good point. There's always that part of the the business part, which actually you just made me think. If I can go off topic, this whole new AI art. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Oh, a lot of fluff around, a lot of fear. I don't know. I mean, there was this kind of. I was talking to my wife about it. It was this kind of flurry and fear when stock photography and stock illustration came out, where people go, "This is our jobs are over as illustrators." But like I mean, it's just a tool as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how you feel, Kenny, but
I'm not like thrilled about it. I mean, it's whatever, dude. It was the same buzz when like NFTs were like, we're making millions of dollars off of NFTs and so on and so forth. And it's like, the AI art thing, like there was a buzz about it. Like, I don't know if you remember, it was like 4 years ago, almost like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was I felt to me it feels like it's a fad.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I feel that there's too many people that appreciate original artwork or traditionally done artwork. For that to really blow up and like have a market, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think the further we go towards and I've said this to you, Philip, many times, but I think the further we go towards the digital intrusion of everything, I think there's a hunger for more real things, like in all areas, not just art, but real music, real growing your own vegetables. Like there's a movement for having your own tangible things again, like rather than these mass-produced things. And I just feel like the pendulum swings. Like we have this a real lean into the digital, and then we have a flow back to, oh yeah, but I just want something that's hand touched that hangs on my wall by a human with a human imagination, with their own journeys, their own memories, their own insights, their own trials. You can't have an AI version of a human experience.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that.
From a non-artist, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that work that's done by hand, even if you're using like a digital medium, like it has a soul to it. Like there's
correct.
There's like, you know what I mean? Like with every piece, I can tell when someone like phoned something in versus like someone who's really poured themselves into their work. You know what I mean? That like with digital art, with AI art, yes, like in theory, it's nice. It's nice to look at, but there's no soul behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty, but that's it.
Yeah, like that's as far as it goes. It's kind of like it's like I tell my kids all the time, right? Because a lot of my kids are starting to use like iPads and use the Procreate and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Procreate is cool, right? But you should build your strength on paper, right?
Yes.
Because those skills transfer over.
Yeah.
Like I was able to teach myself to do digital art in a month because I'm strong on paper.
Correct.
It doesn't work the other way around.
Right.
And man, like it resonated with a lot of my kids because now they're starting to do stuff on paper or even like combine the two and use the digital medium
Yeah.
as like another tool, to express themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Real quick, sorry to interrupt. Matthew Lawrence says, "Hey, what's up, Matthew?"
Hey,
And
Matt.
Sean Carlson, amazing artist, has just joined in. He just showed me a little sneak peek of one of the sketch covers he's doing for Tragedy. He did the
Nice.
Elektra versus Tragedy. It looks amazing. And he's
Very
doing
cool.
Breath of the Dragon versus Deathstroke right now. You guys are going
Love
to
it.
want to pick these up. Part of me hopes you don't, because then I can buy them. Anyway, and then Kenny is doing Breath of the Dragon versus Taskmaster and
Yes, sir.
Tragedy versus Zealot.
Yep.
Did you get the blanks?
Not yet. I looked on the tracking. It's arriving tomorrow.
Cool. Sean Carlson, drop your links, buddy. Sean's an awesome artist. He's a really good guy too. So check his work out. He has a cover on the last Tragedy book, number 3. And by the way, I have a few foils of them because I haven't sold anything yet other than the Kickstarter campaigns, and they look awesome. So you should check out the campaign number 3 for the Sean Carlson covers, and feel free to reach out to me.
Nice.
Amazing dude. I have to send him comps. I have to send a bunch of comps. It's just been crazy. Unfortunately, my wife and my mother have COVID. It's been a rough week with a bunch of other stuff going on. So for those of you I owe art, I owe books, please be patient with me. I've always proven to be reliable. Just chill and relax, and I promise you'll get it. I appreciate you. All right. So as a non-artist, my thoughts on AI. I think it's great for a guy that can't draw, who doesn't have the money or hook up with an artist, to kind of play around with what they want to do. And maybe when they get an artist, give them ideas of angles and what they want. That's fine as a tool. But should it ever replace artists? Will it? No. There's nothing better as a person who writes and can't draw than me collaborating with an artist who has a mind and an idea, because you know what you lose with AI? The artist creativity. Do you know how many times I've gone to Ricardo or even Kenny or Will with the cover for the book, Will, and I
Yeah.
gave you my idea, and then you tweak it a little bit with what you thought worked compositionally, and I go, oh my God, that's even better than I thought in my head. It's amazing. See, the point is, with AI, I'm limited to my non-artistic brain.
Right.
You're the one who studied composition and storytelling through two-dimensional art. I'm missing out on that experience, on that wisdom and knowledge that you have. I'm missing out on that perspective.
I suppose it's similar to if you were to flip it to a writing program, and you said, right, oh, this is my genre, these are my tropes I want covered, these are my characters. Go write a story, and it pulled from every structure of stories in history and wrote a story. But what it doesn't have in its toolbox is the human journey. It doesn't have your own tragedies. It doesn't have your own wins. It doesn't have love. It doesn't have loss. It doesn't have these things that we experience through life that make those stories mean something. Like, I don't want to read something that's been written by a machine that's had no human experience, because what am I reading then? Like, I connect the stories because they're written by humans that have lived a life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to read something that's done by some machine that's cold and is fake.
Right.
Sorry, all the machines out there. When there's an uprising, please keep in mind.
You're getting charged extra on your next Easy Pass.
That's right. Yes. I've now been cancelled off 4 platforms. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it's the same with art. Like, I mean, yeah, it's lovely. I mean, and I do love seeing. I buy all of the art books from the Star Wars movies, because I love seeing their process. But I really dwell on the ones that are hand drawn, and it's not because I've got a thing against digital art, because I think it's an amazing tool. I do. I wish I was better at it. But the thing is, I really love seeing the actual physical. Like, that's why I like looking at Gerald's work as well, because, Gerald's work, you see every story of his drawing in there because he's finding his way through the drawing. It's like watching someone do life drawing. Is that they're drawing behind, they're drawing in, they're drawing out, and it's all on the page. You know, the whole story. And I remember when I was studying art, I had this great old life drawing teacher, and she said to me, "Don't rub anything out because I love seeing your mistakes and your struggles." She goes, "That is the richness of art."
Right.
And I thought, wow, and that really kept with me. And even though I do love a clean drawing, I love seeing art that I can see the journey as well. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what's great about these shows is that, you know, like there's always the argument of saying, well, it demystifies what we do as artists because you're showing every process. But I think the human journey of what you're doing and watching our struggles, watching where we stuff it up and rub it out and where we have a win. I mean, I think that's
don't talk
that's
about
the
rubbing it
power.
out on my show. That's your business.
That's the power of that's the power of the drawing, you know. Hey, look, my hands are on the table. My hands are on the table.
By the way, I got the David Finch book today.
Oh, is it good?
Oof.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. They did a great job. The only thing I would say, and like I won't say friends like I go to dinner with them, but I'm friends with Meredith and David as far as like when I see them like, hey Phil, how are you and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, to use it loosely. So it's also why I'm promoting. David's a really nice guy, and so is Meredith.
Oh, they're good. They're good people. Yeah.
But the only thing I would say is they did something like this too many times for my liking with pieces that shouldn't have this. Well, not too many times, only like once or twice. But sorry, hang on, I'm trying to find it again. I didn't think. Well, that's a hell of a Darth Vader. Where is it? Sorry, I just had it. Hang on. It's a nice hardcover. It's 60-something pages. And there's some amazing art in here. Like, he didn't chintz. He gave you some amazing stuff. You know, I'm not even going to make the complaint because it really looks like it's just one thing. And the book is awesome. I'm sure they're selling more. It's his Monday Night Draw that he's been doing on YouTube. That's been a big hit. Again, it's a nice size sketchbook. It's a sketchbook to me. That's what a sketchbook should be. And I'm going to say, like, I got the Mike Diodato sketchbook. No offense. I don't want all the narration and all the reading and all the stuff in there.
Yeah,
I came for art.
Yeah.
Just send me your art. I don't want all that.
Yeah.
You know, if I do, I'll pick up like the autobiographical book or something of that nature with art in it. But you know, it seems like it's less art and it's more text. And great for you, but I came to see your art. Whatever you do on your side, you know, good for you. Congratulations. I want to see art, and kind of like our art books.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that segue. This is why you hired me.
Love a good segue.
So, you guys like art books? Do you like art books?
Why, yes, we do, Phil.
I've got art books. I've got Kenny Calderon art books.
Huzzah!
Look at that.
Huzzah. Oh yeah, let's see. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Look at that. That's how an art book should be. Ooh, Doctor
Very
Strange.
cool.
And this is a good 50 pages on its own right.
Yep.
Sweet. Turn to nuts. So, let's see. Look at that Riddler. That's a sweet Riddler. Look at that, guys.
That was a fun piece.
Ooh, what's going on?
I love how you show the black and white and then the color version opposite too. That's great, Kenny.
Yeah.
You know what it is. Well, I'm a big fan of like looking through people's sketchbooks and like seeing their thought process, like as they're like rendering things or even like little thumbnails.
Yep.
Like I'm a huge fan of that stuff, and like a lot of my scraps, I hold on to them.
Yes.
Just so I can look back on them, and you know, I'm pretty sure that you know there's people out there like me that you know just love seeing like a before or an after or like a development of a final piece. You know.
Nothing better than those concept artwork pieces, is there?
Oh.
You know?
By the way, Kenny,
Yeah.
it's an obscure character, but as a lover of art,
Yes.
to me, it's not about the character; it's about the picture in front of me. This is one of my favorites from you.
Oh, the Grace Flynn. You know what? That's probably one of my favorite pieces that I did for that IP.
Yeah, some people they're like, oh well, I don't care for the IP. It's new. I care for the art. And look at that, you got the Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
So we've got art books, guys. We may not be David Finch level as far as name, but we are as far as talent.
Yes, sir.
So we've got William Pleydon. Look at that. Finch is amazing, but so is this.
Yes, he is.
Ooh, look at that. That's just the covers. All right, let's show you what we got. Speaking of the Silver Surfer before and Ghost Rider, look at that. Full color. Look at the colors, dude. You've got Orko.
Nice.
I mean, guys. Oh, look at this. I still don't understand this placement, Will. We'll talk about placement next time. Jason and Phoenix. Look at that Phoenix. Guys, you like art books? Coming to Kickstarter soon. We got art books. You like Masters of the Universe? Look at that. You like Star Wars? You might, Rabbit. You might. Look at that. Look at that. Just so you know, I haven't slept at all. So excuse me. Look at that. You like Universal Monsters? Karloff? I mean, whoa. You got everything in here, man.
It's a bit of a mixed bag.
You gotta give him the mixed bag.
Yeah.
You like the women heroes? We've got the women heroes.
Very nice.
Raven and Hawk Girl. Melanie, Kaylee loves the Hawk Girl. So look, that's a thick book. Now these are comic floppy style. They're not hardcover, but if you back enough on the campaign, there'll be a stretch goal to turn them into hardcovers.
I like that.
But you got to make us money. Because as handsome as I am, they're not throwing the money at me. Rod is drawing with us. Look at this. Samurai. Look at that.
Nice.
Woo-wee. Look at that. Wonder Woman and Flash. Hey, Flash. Come here, Flash. Don't mind me. Look at Spider-Man. It's the Spider Universe of people. Actually, my friend Robert Gencarelli is hanging this in his man cave.
Nice. I saw photos of that man cave. It's looking very, very compressed. There's a lot in there.
Dude, you have no idea. That freaking guy. And by the way, people are loving this, especially on TikTok. But do you like mashups? I mean, do you like mashups?
Who doesn't?
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Who doesn't like a good mashup?
Rob Powers. Look at that Ghost Rider Wolverine mashup. Ooh, booyah. Oh, well, we got more.
You like the mashups? We got the mashups.
We got the mashups. We got what you need.
It gets worse. How about Venom and Earthworm Jim?
Earthworm Jim. I love it.
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, there's another big book by Def Shogun and Rob Powers. It's coming to a theater near you. The Darkness and Pit. Speaking of the Pit, awesome. Well, we didn't really speak of the Pit, but we spoke about related things.
That's a character I don't hear much of anymore. It's the Pit.
True.
He's redoing it. Dale Keown is coming out with the Pit again.
Sweet.
Is he?
Yeah, look at this Nightcrawler Hulk. Oh, hell yeah. Take it to my favorites. So you got some awesome stuff. Another thick book. Look at that. It's so thick.
We like them thick.
Again, we've got Ricardo Silva because there aren't enough Silvas in Brazil. I mean, how does anybody know anybody? Are you all related in Brazil? Everybody's a Silva. What the frig? Or Ramos. Like, the two families start Brazil?
The guys in Brazil like him thick too.
Yeah. PG. I mean, look at that. He made me want to buy Lois Lane, for crying out loud. It's a freaking Lois Lane picture, and he made me want to buy it. Of course, he's Brazilian, so boobs are out. Witchblade samples. Look at that. Look at that.
Very nice.
We got art books. Look, it's thick. Like Kenny likes it.
Yeah, buddy.
Thick. Speaking of Ramos, we've got Carlos Ramos. Carlos Ramos art. Let's show some of his good stuff. You got Cyclops and Darkseid. By the way, I used to think his name was Darkseid, and they used to call him Darkseid in Superpowers. Who the hell changed it like Magneto? It's not a Magneto. So stupid. What's wrong with these people? Magneto. I just sold this piece to Randy, actually, just recently, I think.
Nice.
I think it was Randy. The Toad.
Oh, good.
The Toad looked cool. This Sabretooth, I'm just waiting on the payment to come in. It's been sold.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Spider-Man with Doc Ock tentacles. You know, he can use some stupid contraption to control the tentacles. Weak. This Wolverine just sold to Greg. That original just sold a couple of weeks ago at the live show. Mailing it out tomorrow. It's packaged behind me. And then that's a pretty funny play on that usual meme. So we got art books. Eat your heart out, David Finch.
You like the art books? We got the art books.
They're hard. They might even be hard soon. Thick and hard if you give us enough money. The art books. Now,
when do you think about a date for release for the kids at home?
Again, I mean, the problem is that Kickstarter won't let me do two campaigns at once.
Yeah.
Now, I could start a new account as Legendary Illustrations, hook up a different bank account. But by the time I do all that, tragedy will be over.
Yeah.
I'd rather build it up, get people out there. Damn right it didn't sound right, Rod. That was because you know what? Sex sells. You know how many people keep telling me, hey, dude, you really want to get to like 30,000? Just stick her boobs out. Fuck you.
Nah.
Not doing it.
Not necessary.
It's not even the point of the character. Look, if you are doing boobs because you want to just make money and not have to work a day job, or you're doing really well with it, I have no hate for you. There's no jealousy. Good on you. It baffles me why people want cartoon sex like that, but okay, fine. You know, if it's your thing, cool. No judgment. But it's not my character, and it's never going to be, and I'm not going to do that. Because you know, for them to do it, it's their intent. For me to go switch it over now, I'm selling out.
Yeah.
I believe in this book, and I'm telling you, you people mark my words. You better jump on board, because I'm going to be going to monthly distribution, and I'm going to be in comic stores, and this bad girl is going to be selling books, and it's going to become a household name, and you're all going to want to be on board now. I'm telling you. I believe greatly. Look, I know creators all love their book and think their book is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not going to say that. I want you to decide, but you got to pick it up and read it to tell me. And so far, reviews have been fantastic, even by professional writers of 30 years in comics. I believe in this book. The 26 issues written, I've had them beta tested. They've been read. And people love them and say that they can see this as a Netflix streaming series.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It has got layers. It's got depth. It's got humanity, but it's also got a lot of action. It's got a lot of fun. It's got humor. It's got moments that make you cheer. It's got moments that make you go, oh shit. I mean, one of the greatest reviews I got, the woman said it's her favorite book that she looks forward to because she's usually good at guessing where things are going, and she doesn't in this book. And because I have made it where you invest in all the characters, there are no throwaway characters. So I'm asking you to give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you have toilet paper. That's fine. Just don't press too hard when your butt's wet because it might wind up becoming a comic book on your ass.
It's, I don't know, Phil. I mean, that seems like good quality paper. I mean, that's not easy. That's harsh. That's harsh.
You know what? Well, then buy it and find out if it sticks to your ass. But read it first.
I don't think that's soft ply. You know.
And so far, this is Rod's progress.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm serious. It does frustrate me, and I don't mean this to be rude. I'm not being a hater, but I'm seeing some, not a lot, but some projects out there that are doing very well, and I'm happy for them. But it baffles me, based on the art quality or the generic story, how they're doing so much better. And then they haven't been around 10 years. They haven't been around 5 years, you know? I know this is only a year I've put out 4 books, but, you know, it's like, it's tough because when you really feel something is a solid property and people of quality background, of professional background, of substance are telling me it is, and that's not me being full of my head because I'm not the best writer in the world, and there are better books out there. But my book stands up to probably most things that are on the rack, and it's better than some of the garbage that's on the rack. I'm sorry, it is. I know that sounds conceited. I don't mean it this way. I just really believe in this book, and I'm asking you to give it a shot. It's worth it.
It was encouraging to see it get back so quickly. That was good.
Of course.
Yeah, well, you know what it is I have. Oh, we went up. Quite. All right. I have probably about 100 to 120 like really invested loyal backers that they really, really enjoy the story and they look forward to it. And they're the ones that can't wait to get the book, so they jump on right away.
Yeah.
So that's great. What concerns me is who's not coming back and why. We're behind on the analytics as far as where we were last campaign. Now it could be there might be a big swarm later, because here's the weird thing. I didn't have a big swarm at the end of the last campaign like most campaigns. I had a big dump. 3750 dropped out. I would have been at 17 grand. So maybe those people are waiting to the end. I know the economy's tight. People went back to school. People were on vacations, things like that. I get it. So I don't know. And the other thing is, when you look at the analytics, it shows you those who are following the campaign. And there, I'm ahead of schedule. There's a lot more people following. And then there's the conversion rate. That's how many people went from following to actually physically backing. So that usually, from most campaigns, ends around 35 to 38% of followers convert to backers. My first 2 campaigns, it was 37% and 35%. So that's on target. The weird thing about campaign 3, 19%. It was really odd, and everybody I talked to, like, I've never seen that before. It's always in the 30s.
Can I ask a Kickstarter question? And I know this is not in regards to you, because I know every project you've done on Kickstarter, you have followed through and you've got excellent tiers and all that kind of stuff. But is there still a stigma out there for people backing that they won't get their product?
Unfortunately, some people do get squirrely because Kickstarter does nothing about it, and there are backers that there are creators that have screwed people. There are even big name professionals that 2 years they're waiting on stuff, 3 years, 5 years, and they've reneged. I got swindled out of $300 on what looked like an awesome tabletop game, and this was like 3 years ago. So some people get squirrely, and that's why I made the post that when the printer kind of messed up and it held up my fulfillment, I postponed this campaign because I think trust is the most important thing, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
launch it if you hadn't gotten book 3 yet. Some people told me, "Don't worry about it; it's no problem," and they might have been right, but I wasn't looking to take a chance.
Yeah.
I want you to trust me because you know what? At the end of the day, you're not. I'm not asking you to buy tragedy because I know if you read it, you'll come back.
But
I'm
is
not
that stigma still there, like for the general
for
average
unknowns.
Joe?
Probably some people, but
Because
I'm
I've
not
I've
asking.
heard those stories too. I mean, and look, we had a case, not mentioning name, we had a case in Australia where some really established comic creators did a similar thing. They promoted the book, took the money, and then no book. And I just didn't know. I think people become a bit gun shy of that kind of stuff, and I just didn't know whether that was happening over your way as well.
I don't know if it's happening with me. The good news is, people were happy that they got everybody got their books before this campaign launched. It may
Yeah,
have been
not
a
not
couple of
you, not
days,
you, but
but
I
they
think in
did.
general, not you,
Yeah.
but in general.
But going back to what I was saying is, I'm not selling tragedy because I think you'll come back and buy it if you give
Yeah,
it a chance to read it. I'm selling trust. Like
yeah,
you could have a major writer who maybe hasn't written anything good in the last several years. If they launched a new title, people would still trust them based on their resume and buy it because you
yeah,
trust the writer's quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well, that's what I'm selling. I need people to trust my writing. And those 100 to 120 people that jump on right away and bang, get me up there, I have earned their trust in my writing, in the quality of the story in the book. That's why they come back, and I'm grateful to them. They gave me a chance. They let me earn my wings, and they came back because I earned it. But they gave me the opportunity to earn it. So the problem is reaching more people and asking them to give me the opportunity. Because we'll spend money on garbage. You'll go
oh yeah,
to a
yeah.
fair and buy trinkets that just take up space that you don't even care about in your room or your wall, or your house, or whatever, and they sit in the attic, or your wife or husband screams at you. But but you won't take a chance on a book.
Phil,
What's the
do
worst
we?
thing that happens?
What's the data with sales in a brick and mortar store or online with comic books at issue 4? Like, is there a normal drop off? Is that a normal thing?
Normally issue one sell well, issue twos
Yeah,
drop off because people will collect first appearances. Because we've become less of a reader market and more of a
yeah,
collector investor market.
right. And what about issue 4? Knowing that you're like on your way to a
Usually
trade?
three and
Oh
four
no.
it starts to pick up again. As far
Oh,
as
okay.
Kickstarter, this should be booming. I mean, three picked up, it went on par, and um, the problem with like I can get my books in comic stores no problem, thankfully, because I have big name covers and stuff, and I
Yeah,
was getting them in there. But you know what happens? It's not a monthly.
yeah,
So
right. Yeah,
everybody who was interested in book one had bought the book, and now it's trickling sales. So what does the comic store do? They bury the book because they have
yeah,
titles coming out every week that will sell. So, and I'm not knocking them, it's business. Why are they going to put my book on the shelf to take space instead of the new Vampirella or the new Marvel book or the new DC book or the new Image book? Because that's coming out monthly where they don't know when mine's coming out again or even if.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
I
that's where
wasn't sure
distribution's
whether,
important.
but I wasn't sure whether you get people waiting for the trade. Like when you get to issue 4. That's all.
Well, the good news is a lot of people are asking for the trade, but the good thing
Yeah.
besides the trade, there's going to be, concept art in there. There's going to be a manga issue for number one on the back, drawn by
This guy,
Calderon.
man,
And
you're like on top of your segues tonight.
I know.
I
I
know
think he's got it planned out.
I'm always on top of my segues. That's why you hired me. Um,
I feel like a
Hi,
puppet, Kenny.
Janice. How are you? Thanks for hanging out. Janice and Jason from Canada, welcome. How are
Hey,
you?
my
Thanks,
cousins.
thanks for hanging out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, so and also there are some big names that I can possibly have. I haven't reached out to them yet because of money and this and that, but they said they're looking to do covers, and there are a couple of big names that I'm looking to do the hardcover covers for.
Nice.
Um, and I'm excited about getting a hardcover, collected volume. I'm really excited about that to see my dream come true like that and my work come to life. And then of course just to see what Ricardo has done with it, and all of the wonderful, talented cover artists such as the two of you have done for me and for Tragedy. I'm very grateful. Um,
Yeah, it'd be exciting to see it in a trade for sure.
yeah, and then I've got the Dynamics coming out. I'm very proud of that. People, the reviews on that have been very good. Here's the funny thing, though. This is going to come out as a complaint. Maybe it is. I did a contest for a person to win um, an option to see an opportunity to read the scripts, read the manuscript to the short storybook and the
Yeah.
script to Dynamics. And when I did a bunch of people were interested, and they had to sign an NDA, of course. So I did the contest, and I got the winner. And then four other people like, oh, make more winners, make more winners, make more winners. So I said fine, because I appreciate them to read it. So I wound up having like 3 or 4 winners. 4 of them signed the NDAs. 1 never gave it back, and of the 4, 1 guy read it.
Yeah, right.
And his review was not really a review. It was kind of weird. So it's like, why did I go through all that? And why did they ask me? And I waste time doing stuff like that.
That's
Here's a
FOMO.
complaint. What's that?
FOMO. Fear of
Say what
missing
in
out.
English?
It was fear of missing out. FOMO.
Oh, FOMO. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the hell that was. Sorry. I know what FUBAR means. Rod is stuck on the hard and thick cover.
Look out. Look out.
See? It's the Brazilian in him.
Yeah, I'm not doing it again, Rowley. It was a waste of time. And no disrespect to the person who gave me feedback, but it wasn't even real feedback. It was see, I don't care for placating. I'm not the person to come to and say, do I look heavy in this dress? Now, I have tact. I'm not going to
That's
say
not
no.
true. That's not
I'm
true.
not. Yes, I do.
You're beautiful, Phil. You're
I'm
beautiful.
not going to sit there and say you look fat in that dress, but I'm not going to be like Al Bundy. But if you
You and
like,
that-
my wife trusts me because she knows that I would never let her fail. So if she comes to me and goes, now my wife is gorgeous. There's nothing that looks bad on her. She could be wearing a bunny suit and look fantastic. Oh, yeah. Anyway, like a bunny pajamas and she look fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if my wife said, and there have been times where she was like, does this dress look bad on me? And it wasn't really a flattering cut. It wasn't her. It was just the way the dress was cut. And
Yeah.
I'll tell her, you look beautiful in anything, but I do think you could find a better dress that suits your body frame better.
Boom.
That looks, shows how beautiful you are because that hides you, or that doesn't, the cut is off. And she doesn't get mad at me. She appreciates it because she knows that she can trust me. I don't want placaters. I don't want yes men. I don't want people who are going to tell me everything is great because then I'm going to be that idiot on American Idol who can't sing, but nobody told me the truth.
Well, if you wear that dress, I'm going to tell you the truth. That's the way it is.
I look hot. I look hot.
Kenny
We
and
want to
I,
talk about things getting hard and thick. I look hot when I wear that dress.
you're too wobbly on those high heels. I mean, and Kenny and I will tell you.
So, I'm talking to another art rep right now he art reps a big name, and he's such a nice guy. He's really cool. He's down to earth.
Nice.
And we're talking shop. Oh boy. So yeah, we had another backer. We're trickling. It's a slow climb. And like I said, this may have a boom at the end, and I may be stressing for nothing. again, my stress is not an ingratitude for where I am, because I know there's people that would kill for $5,000 that are struggling to make 1,500, and they're deserved of more than 1,500. I ain't gonna lie. I'm grateful for my station, but the whole point is growth, and I worry about all the work I'm putting in and not having any growth.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we made less money, but we had more backers, I mean, digital, okay, more people are reading it. Ryan's here. What's going on? How are you?
I'm gonna throw an idea out there, Phil.
Look out. The silence really built for that too, Kenny. It was like, wow.
Just it was one of those where I had to work up the courage because we're live on stream and
Work up
such.
the courage.
See what happens, Phil, when you leave a gap of silence.
Yeah.
Well, that's my gift. My gift to Gab works great as a host. Makes it easy on you guys. You're trying to draw up. But go ahead.
So, if you want to up the readers, right? Just kind of expand the audience. Have you considered putting out like the sample pages, like the sample book that you made for San Diego? Have you considered putting that online somewhere, like Webtoons, and then like having a link to the Kickstarter so that people can catch up?
No, I don't know anything about Webtoons. I'm not very good at the social media. I'm not even on Twitter, which I think would help. And I can't keep up. I don't know if people understand how tired I am and how much I do. It's 24/7 nonstop. I mean, while I'm seeing patients during the day, if I get a 5-minute break, I'm editing a panel of a page so I can get to a page day so Ricardo can continue and not be sitting there. And I'm trying to package up and mail things out or prepare for a live stream, or marketing and promoting. Because forgive me for saying this, but without spending any money on marketing, I have done a pretty good job of getting out there. I mean, I got that book from inception, 0 to completion, 100% in 4 months in people's hands. And I had over $10,000 and over 220 backers. Um, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you how hard I work. It is nonstop. My wife doesn't know how I keep going at 50 years old, and I am getting tired. It is hard. The marketing is hard. The social media, um, it's hard, and especially when you have a week like I had. Like I said, the other 2 adults in this house have COVID. They're down and out. They're done, and I'm like, this was my day yesterday, and it's not me bitching. I'm just saying. I'm just talking. I got up early. You get the kids to school, ready for school. You get them to school. I do my visits all day. I work my three jobs during the day, but in between visits, I run out and I go get the kids and I bring them home, and I start them on their homework, and I do my visits. I got to schedule my visits for the next day. I'm reviewing their homework with them. I'm helping them study for their spelling tests. I'm making dinner, for my mom and my wife, and going up and down and seeing what she needs, whether it's tea or whatever, or medicine or whatever the case, while trying not to get COVID again myself because I almost died from it the first time. And she's worried about killing me. Um, and then on top of that, I was editing pages. I was building a Kickstarter page for Charles Morgan, building a Kickstarter page for Unknown Heroes, working out the page for Legendary Illustrations, sketch covers, collecting the money for the art sales. I've got to prepare for Vegas next week, so I'm slowly doing a little bit of that. And I was doing and then doing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the living room, getting the girls ready for bed, braiding their hair, tucking them in, and then attending to my wife again and my mother, and then I'm downstairs. And here it is. It's like 11:30, and I haven't gotten really deep into what I need to do to edit pages for Ricardo. And Chris Sotomayor's colors came in, and this is not a woe is me. I choose to do this. I could easily take a break and not do the tragedy and everything. What I'm saying is, I work so friggin' hard that I just hope it pays off. I really, you guys know me. I don't do anything half-assed. It's 100%. It's got to be professional quality. What you put out there has to be worth that person's money. They work hard. I don't want to gyp anybody. Truth is, I could make a lot more money. I could charge more money for these covers. I don't. These big name covers, of course I could. Gary Girout, another legendary illustrator. What's going on, bud? We're going to get him on eventually. He is an inker.
Nice.
He's working on a book with Michael Monty Moore right now and Alex Sarabia. He is rocking it. They just said they loved your pages, Gary. I don't know if you saw the message. And great work. We're so glad to have you as part of the family. Gary, I wasn't taking on new people because I just can't. It's just too much. And Gary fits the mold, though, as far as personality, work ethic, desire, humbleness, willing to get better, paying his dues. And to be honest with you, it was good to have an inker on board, you know. So welcome aboard, Gary. So again, I'm sorry to turn this into a whining session. I'm not trying to whine. Again, I'm in control of my own life. I am not a victim of anything. I choose this. But I'm just really hoping that this pays off, that my hard work pays off, because at the end of the day, it's really about two things more than anything. I mean, of course, I want to live my dream. I want to enjoy what I do for a living. But the two biggest things are I want to show my daughters something I never got. That if you embrace life with hard work, devotion, passion, and integrity, you can make the life you want it to be. I learned that very, very late in life. I want them to learn it now.
Yeah.
I wasted 30-something years of my life in misery and depression and wishing God would take me in my sleep. I don't want that. I want them to learn life is beautiful. Life is good. There are ugly people and there are ugly moments, but life is beautiful. Just go look at any sunset, any beach, any flower, any bumblebee, any piece of art. It's beautiful. And there are beautiful people out there, like the people I get to work with in Legendary Illustrations, like my wife, you know, like my best friend Eric and my friend Joe, you know, and I want to teach them that. Don't dream big, be big, do big, be legendary. Don't settle for less.
Have fun
That's
storming the castle.
Yes.
There you go.
The first lesson. The second thing is, I want to watch them grow. I don't want to be working my life away and I don't see them because I can't. You know how many times my daughter's like, Daddy, can we do this? Can we do that? I'm sorry, honey, I can't. I have a patient at 7. You know, patient at 6. Last night, I was a guest on a show, Wednesday. I had a visit and I just literally logged off the Zoom visit and went right into backstage.
Mm.
I didn't even get to eat.
What was the show, Phil?
It was it's a great show. Catch the Craze, Sam Vera and George Medina, really great guys. They're actually my favorite hosts, and they're really good at what they do. And it was great. You know, we pushed tragedy, and they were really kind. Sorry. I'm also a big motivator. People come to me a lot. This is another thing that happens, and this is not a complaint at all. I'm honored. There are a lot of people that come to me in DMs every day, depressed and looking for motivation or looking for advice. And I'm very careful with advice because, you know, I'm not Gandalf. I don't have all the answers, but I motivate. I think I'm good at motivation because I generally don't want anybody to ever feel like I felt growing up, insignificant, um, defeated, powerless. I don't. No one should feel like a victim ever, and that's why I get upset when She-Hulk becomes a martyr and claims what a victim she is. I don't like heroes doing that. You're supposed to promote people; they're not victims. You know.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Kevin Anthony DeCastro is here. Do you want awesome digital art and beautiful colors, or do you want that awesome tragedy cover he did? Kevin Anthony DeCastro is awesome. And by the way, Kevin, your book in foil is killer. That cover is insane. All right, Rod, we'll wait for you. Yes, well, Filbo is because of that, actually, Gary. People ask me, is Filbo have to do with Lord of the Rings? Yes. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars are my favorite fictional stories of all times. I've read Lord of the Rings many times since 9 years old. I love The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I have big Hobbit feet that really are big. So my wife started calling me Filbo. Dude, I have huge feet, and they can grab things and pick them up, and they're hairy. My toes are hairy. So my wife
That's
started
a
calling me
lot.
Filbo.
That's a lot of information.
Hey, I was talking about my feet, man. We can get into other shit if you want. So
Lots of dick.
yeah, because of my feet, my thick feet, my hard, thick feet, my wife started calling me Filbo. And out of a love from my wife, and you all know, I make my family a part of what I'm doing, some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
They're Easter egged all over what I do. So Filbo Entertainment Promotions, and Rob Powers did an awesome job writing Filbo in the same style as the ring and the gold.
Nice.
And he put the dragon in the background, kind of like Smog.
Nice.
Rob is a great logo designer. If you guys need,
Robin Maury, fantastic.
Yeah.
Gary wants Kenny to do a Lord of the Rings piece for him at some points on his bucket list.
What?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Sweet.
I'm with it. I love fantasy stuff.
Yes.
Well, Kevin, I have to send you your comps. So I planned on sending you a foil with them. So you'll get one. You'll actually get one, buddy. Zach Rodriguez. I can believe that your hard work will pay off, and it will. Phil, you're an inspiration. Everything that you're doing is meant to be. Just think about where you were with your vision a year or 2 years ago and where you are now. Do you see the difference? I don't. That's the problem. I'm sketching Batman right now, by the way. Oh, you got to share that. DM, put it in the Facebook DM for me, Zach, and I'll share it live. Thinking about watercoloring it afterwards. Looking great, Kenny and Will. All the best. Zach, drop your link. Zach is a great painter and artist as well. Actually, it'd be fun to see Will and Zach do like a paint off, not like a competition thing, but just to show one do watercolor, one do gouache, and show how awesome these guys are. Or if one wants to do gouache and one wants to do acrylic.
Sounds good.
Kevin, you're definitely getting comps. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And to be honest with you, you guys all live in the Philippines and China and all these freaking places that cost $6 billion to ship to. And my ass is broke. So if you can be patient, I promise you'll get comps. No one has ever not received their comps. Ever. You talk to anybody, I have never let anybody down. It may take longer sometimes, but I always come through. Now, Rob is hilarious. Rob Powers. By the way, what Rob is doing with logos and everything, or that new trailer he did for the Dynamics, is just, it is so badass. He truly gets the feel of that book. Now, I know I sent it to Kenny, but he never reads my scripts, so thanks for that. He's like, the first 3 pages.
Way to throw me under the bus, Phil.
Yeah, exposed.
Yeah, I'm honest. I'm honest, fucker. Anyway, I still love Kenny though. But Kenny has my back in so many other ways. Now if we just read the fucking scripts. Will, did you read the script for Dynamics?
I did not.
Aha.
Prick.
Yeah, but
anyway,
I don't pretend that I did though.
Oh shit. But you read the short story book that's coming out.
Yes.
And you
I
read the
did.
comic book that is the continuation of the first short story, right?
Yes, I did.
Without spoilers, thoughts. Be honest.
I do I have to be. Oh, you want me to be honest? Okay. I
Yeah,
love
if you
that we
didn't like it,
title.
say it. It's okay.
I'm always honest. Look, I thought when I first read the novel first, the short novel first, which I thought was really interesting in the sense that it explores different, I suppose, aspects on. I don't know, it's not really religion, but I suppose it's more to do with reality
Spirituality.
and exploring spiritual like realms. So I thought that was cool. And I think the comic expands on that.
I do think I'm a better comic writer than I am a prose writer. I'd be lying to myself if I said otherwise.
I
But
thought I thought they both read fine, and I don't think they read different to anything that I've read in terms of prose.
oh well,
Um, so I thought that was quite good, and I liked. It's hard to talk about it without revealing too much. I liked and we talked about this before, the comic itself, based upon an expansion of the story in the prose. There's some fantastic scenes of
yeah,
spiritual conflict in terms of characters, but also actual physical conflict,
yeah.
which are going to look fantastic in
Dude,
visuals.
that one scene that you and I discussed, because I want Will to draw this book. That one scene, you know what I'm going for.
Yeah.
So just so you know, this first story is called Withered, and it deals with angels. It deals with why things go wrong with God. You know, God's in charge of why things go wrong, and it has a villain that I don't think anybody's ever done before. Am I wrong, Will?
I think you're right.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody have a villain like this before, and I'm proud of it. And there is a scene in the comic where Archangel Gabriel is confronted by four humans, but he can see they have a shadow aura around them because they're really demons.
It
And
kind of reminded me of
Constantine,
Constantine, but on a deeper level.
well, thank you. And when Gabriel's in a human form, and when humans don't see what is transpiring, they just see four normal
Yeah.
people and this guy. So when you see what's going on, humans, it's not shown to the naked eye, the human's eye. So in this scene, Gabriel says to these demons, he goes, "Lesser demons? I'm offended. I'm insulted." Because Gabriel in this is a little full of himself. He's a little arrogant, right? I mean, he's a centuries old angel that has fought more wars as God's general than anybody. You know, him and Archangel Michael. So, and Archangel was a Raphael. So anyway, Gabriel in this scene, it's this majestic, these wings, massive wings, unfold slowly and just majestically as he draws his sword, but the wings are armor plated. Every feather has its own scale mail on it. And it's this oh shit moment, like you're just about to get the hammer of God dropped on your ass. I mean, it is this majestic, and Will is gonna pull it off. I know he is. And it's supposed to be powerful, visceral, visual, symbolic. And then the scene is gonna have like light behind him as they're, from the perspective of behind these demons who are now transforming into their demon form. They're trying to show their true form. And then a fight ensues. It starts on the ground, it becomes aerial, and it's fun. Um, I write a lot about the human element, emotions, psych, what makes people tick. I excelled at psych nursing. Actually, I've been very much into psych, how people do what they do, why, etc. Sociopathy and psych patients and things like that. Somebody, all right? Want to come say hi? Come say hi. And everything I write is based on the realism of how and why people react the way they do. Our pains, our insecurities, our triumphs, our suffering, our fears. This is my kitten. Are you tired?
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Yeah. What's that?
I don't want to put on the tablet and like the Nintendo isn't charged. So can we let me pick TV?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't.
Well, listen, the Nintendo, you can plug it in individually and sit there and hold it. Yeah, you can charge it that way and you can play it that way. All right. I have to get up and go get that plug. If they don't mind waiting, let me finish my thought and then I'll go get it for you. Oh, Riley says hello, and Will and Kenny say hello. Rod
Hey,
didn't
hey.
say hi.
Oh yeah.
I was kidding. So this story isn't just angels fighting demons. It's deeper and it goes into humanity. And sometimes we fight for a cause so long we forget what and why we're fighting, what we're fighting for and why. You know, and it deals with that. It deals with humans becoming angels and leaving their life behind and the people they loved behind
Hmm.
and fighting for those people. It's a lot of different things, and I'm proud of it. Again, the short story prose book. I never intended to write a prose book. I never really had the patience to do so because I think that that's a laborious effort. It takes a lot, um, and I just don't have the patience. But I wouldn't call it a crisis of faith. I was just wondering why this happens this way. Why does this happen that way? So I started to think of outside the box reasons. Like maybe God's not in charge, or maybe
I thought it was a fairly hopeful tale out of all of it. Really, I mean, it's not one that dwells on hopelessness. I think it was really you come out of it thinking, it makes you consider a lot of stuff, but it also gives you a lot of hope for what we do as humans on this realm.
well, I appreciate that, and it kind of was just cathartic and got a lot off my chest writing it. So that you took that away from it, I appreciate. It
Mm.
means a lot because maybe God's not in charge, or maybe we're in hell. Maybe this is hell, and or maybe God is just as fallible as us. Just because He has the power doesn't mean He has the wisdom. There's so many things I delve into in this book, and it's not a long read. It's a quick, easy read. It's probably about 120 pages at the most, and I think it's inspiring and uplifting because I didn't want to go negative. Like tragedy has its negative moments, and I want it to be uplifting. You don't have to be a believer in God to enjoy this book. It's not preachy. I'm not a churchgoer. I'm not a Bible thumper. Nothing against that. I don't mean that to sound insulting. So I don't mean that like in a negative, derogatory way. If you're a big believer in the Bible and you read the Bible religiously, God bless you. I respect that faith. My problem is faith in anything that man does. But I full wholeheartedly believe in God, and I believe God has been is been everything in my life, and I believe that He works through other people and other situations in life. Now there are some really devout Christians that think I'm still going to go to hell because I don't put my faith in the Bible. I respect that they feel that way. I'm not offended by that because they honestly in their heart want what's best for me. Um, and I've asked God to tell me if the Bible is His word. I will read it back to front 100 times. I will have Bible sessions every week. Just tell me. But you can't tell me through man because the whole problem is my issue is that man wrote it. You know what I mean? So it would have to be a different way. And maybe it's not my right to dictate how God sends me the message, but God knows me and He knows how I'm going to find that faith and belief. So I have faith that whenever the time is right, God will place it in my life and then I will know. Anyway, that's just me and my personal beliefs. But the book is not preachy, it's spiritual, it's also science fiction, and it's uplifting. And I think you should give it a shot, whether you're atheist or religious. I actually think people who are very strong and strict with the Bible will be less likely to read this than an atheist would at this point. But I hope everybody just picks up and has fun with it. But actually, I don't even have hopes for it. I just wrote it for cathartic reasons. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. If it sells well, then that's great. But if it doesn't, okay, whatever. But it'd be cool if people liked it and then they followed Withered into the comic, because I think the comic's going to be badass. But let me go take care of my daughter. I'll be right back. Okay. Does everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. Sorry. Yep.
Oh, because nobody's answering. I hear crickets, literally.
Because we're kind of drawing live here, Phil.
Yeah, you tuned me out. He's probably got Ludacris on his headphones or some shit. He tuned me out.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't even listen to Ludacris.
Please, I have a wife. I know when people are tuning me out.
No, you don't. All right, Kenny, I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
I had a topic that came up during the week
about,
and I'd be interested to hear what your students might think about this as well.
Okay.
But the topic of tracing. So I know it's a bit of a bone of contention, and I know my opinions on it in terms of a student and they, whether they should be doing that or not, and all of that. But as a professional, the topic that came up was this professional was, producing a large amount of work and tracing off still film screenshots and producing it as their own work. Now, what is your opinion on whether that is considered authentic creativity or whether it's just mass production?
I think that it would fall under the mass production aspect, right? Because look, I'll be honest, and I'll say it here on live. I started tracing, for me to like really refine myself. When I was very young. I mean, I've been drawing since I was 7 years old, so like for me to really like jump forward skill wise, I started tracing my stuff, and what that did was it sort of like gave me the confidence or allowed me to build the confidence to try things outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, tracing is, I feel like, a part of the development process. It's kind of like when you're learning to ride a bike and you got, stabilizer wheels, your training wheels, right?
Yep.
But and even now, right, as a professional, I got a light box, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to replicating original works, a light box comes in handy.
Right.
Now when you're taking stills, tracing them, and then using them as your own, that's kind of like an art no like and up to this point in all my years of teaching, I've not seen not one of my kids trace, not one. Now I get it if it's for facilitating, something that you gotta like produce a lot of, right? Like in our case, if we gotta make copies of something that was done like traditionally, I can totally understand that, but no, and like based off of like the way you described it to me, that's a no.
I have no issue with and I know you are self-taught. I remember you telling me that before. I mean, I suppose I look back at the old days where they would get people to, back in the day, they get young art students to follow the master and mimic and recreate works and finish works.
Right.
And still at art school today, they'll get you to repaint a classical art piece or a section of it, and or go down the gallery and draw a sculpture.
Right.
I think that's fine because you're learning from, if it's for a learning purpose and you recognize that and you label it as that, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's when you start to put it out there as your own original art without the recognition that you're doing it after someone,
Right.
After Da Vinci and after Neil Adams, or even the great David Finch still does. Oh, this is after Neil Adams.
True.
This is a tribute to Capullo or whatever. He'll do that, and that's fine when you pay homage to the artist that has done it. I suppose when people, and I think the real telltale is the speed and the mass production,
right,
and how photo replicated it is. You're
True.
not even leaving room for mistake. But I think here's what my opinion on it is that for me personally, is that and it's coming from the portrait world. That was what I did.
Right.
For years, and you're leaning on photo reference all the time because you're doing someone's portrait.
Sure, that makes sense.
Right, but here's the thing: is that for me personally, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to feel this, but it makes your memory of how things go together lazy.
There you go. Exactly.
So I couldn't, for me, it limited my ability to create something that I had not seen in front of me, my observational ability. So I think the key is to try and find, this is what I've told students in the past, is to find a balance. Like, if you're going to reference, the legendary portraits are all original, but there'll be things I'll reference. So I might need to take a photo of my own hand doing something, or, get the shadow right. So I'll get my son in to pose, like I did a Namor piece for the next series of Legendary, and I couldn't get the arm right. So I got my son to come and pose his arm. And that's, so I referenced it. But I suppose just when you are leaning on it, what happens one day when someone says to you, I want you to create something that you can't reference?
Yeah, like that's how I feel about it. It's like, when you're tracing, when you're reliant on reference, when it's for a learning exercise, or when it's done in that aspect, I'm all for it. I encourage it, right? But when you're doing it, when you become over reliant on it,
yes,
it makes those observational muscles weak,
and it becomes, your art becomes obviously repetitional based upon your photo reference.
Of course,
getting people to, like, it was really telling during lockdown, the quarantine lockdowns, when artists that rely on models had to start modeling themselves for their own artwork, and it became obvious. Like, okay,
absolutely, and you know what? I've told a lot of my kids, that I sometimes when I want to do a particular pose or a particular gesture with my figures, I'll pantomime it myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, stop! You're like Lord Helmet when you have your figures. Get out of here.
It's always an awkward moment when the kid walks in when you're in the middle of a photo shoot.
Of course, absolutely.
Yes, I'm on the kitchen table for a reason. All right.
Sorry,
but absolutely, dude. Like, it's needless to say that everything that we do is derived from life, so it should be rooted in life.
Sure.
I will always encourage. Sure, you can trace in the very beginning, but it should only end up to a certain point. From there, you got to use your own observational skills and be able to, make the connection from hand to your observation. You know what I mean?
And building your own. I think the real key is, and this is what people don't always see, is the decision making and the critical questioning that you're going through while you're creating. You know, the millions of decisions you make of, do I go light here or dark here? Am I
True.
pulling and pushing? Am I structurally changing? Am I getting that?
Thinking hard.
Again with that, yes. But I mean, all of those decisions you're making, I mean, that's not what you're always going to do when you're tracing something. Like you're relying on the image that you've already got.
That's right. That's right. You're just going off of what's already rendered, and you're just copying it.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to make those decisions. That's what makes the art unique. That's what'll make it your own. By putting your stamp on it, by being able to make those decisions on the fly as you render.
Correct.
You guys are
Correct.
swell. Sorry, I'm actually paying for an ink.
No worries. No worries.
I figured I'll shut up for a little while.
We just went to an ad break while you were away from this screen, Phil. That's
Pretty
all.
much.
Well, I'm sorry. I get in promotion mode. I'm passionate about what I do, and I shoot my mouth off. So
nothing wrong with that. So Will, off of being inspired by your work, I have ordered myself a set of gouache paints.
Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
And
let's get a light box and trace you.
No. There won't be any of that. I actually made a list of some paintings that I want to do.
Nice.
Right. That I've thumbnailed just so that I can replicate them much larger. So as someone who will be using that medium for the very first time, do you have any tips?
Start with black and white first.
Right.
It's like oil painting, I suppose. Once you get the handle on the application of how you apply it, because it's a tricky medium. I'm certainly nowhere near a level of proficiency I'd care to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's taken me years to build that knowledge bank. Coming from someone that was purely, I came from oil paint and pencil work. That's what I did.
Right.
It's a different way of treating what you use, but it's no different to someone that's a master at inking. It's another medium. You just got to, or airbrushing. Just got to learn.
Right.
Depends how far you want to take it, really.
Because I can see the oil influence in the way you apply your gouache. Right. I can it's in I can see the influence in the way your stuff comes out, in the textures and stuff. I can see the oil influence. If someone were to tell me this was done in oil, I would 100% believe it.
It's painterly, I suppose. Yeah, it's not.
Yes. So it's got that texture, that finish.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's, I suppose, I went through that era of doing super sharp pieces, and I enjoy. See, I love Greg Manchess. He's one of my favorite artists.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
And his work. I mean, you watch him paint. You can watch him on YouTube. He does his own stuff, but he doesn't use small brushes. Everything's chiseled,
Really?
and he uses. I'll show you. I've actually got a brush here that's similar to the one he uses. So I'm not sure if that's coming up on the screen there, but that's similar to the one he uses where it's got the bevel edge.
Yeah.
So he won't go to a small brush like that. He'll use the bevel for everything, and so you get a very beautiful, painterly, blurry feel, because there's always that argument that your mind is supposed to fill in the gaps, and that's the whole idea of painting, and difference between that and photos.
Right. Right.
Not that I don't admire a photo realist and what they do. I think that's incredible that they can. Some of the work that people are doing now is incredible. Same with, in the old days of Chuck Close and people like that. Like, the photorealism's an incredible skill, but it's not for me. I enjoy painting when I can see the paint and the brushes and the work behind it.
I gotcha. Yeah, man. Because with one of the teachers that I work with, she's young. She's in her 20s, and
Yeah.
she works with oil.
Oh
And she
yes.
does some really impressive things with oil. My stepdaughter also. She's incredible. You know, and I'm in the phase where like I want to try just something new, just to
Yeah.
kind
Good.
of vary up the skill set. You know.
Yeah. Oils are great. The only issue I have with oil, and like I love when you finish an oil painting, the vibrancy of an oil painting's luminescent, like it's beautiful. Like you can really get that real Frank Frazetta oil painting glow about things, or the Drew Struzan look of, like they're fantastic.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with it is that it's so slow for me. Like it's
Uh,
layered, the layers of drying, because I do it in a very old technique where you're building layers and glazing, and it's almost like a Renaissance
right.
process,
Yeah.
Um, the gouache for me, I can work quicker. If I'm doing something large, oils is very appropriate because you can do large backgrounds without
Okay.
without paper buckling, for example.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, if you need a hand with any of the gouache stuff, give us a yell. Like it's one of those things where it's a bit of a mystery, and
Right.
because it is a designer's medium. It's meant for poster paint in the old days and logo design back in the day before bromite cameras.
Oh, I didn't
They
know that.
use they use gouache. I mean, because it's an opaque watercolor, so it holds a lot of
Mm.
strong chroma to your colors. So it's when you build up your layers.
Right.
Um, sometimes I'll leave a piece for a couple of days to really dry,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll come in with a final layer, and it really just kicks it. It really takes it to another level of color.
Okay.
I think we've lost Philip.
Yeah. Feels back to feeling romantic.
He's not even in the room. Look,
I swear.
he's gone.
Don't waste more
There he is.
time.
So, have you got any pieces of artwork that you're thinking about that you want to do with the gouache? Like, what's your first ideas?
So one of the pieces that I have in mind to use the gouache on is a Hellboy piece.
Yeah, nice.
I figured I'd start with something that I'm very familiar with, so something that feels very gothic.
Yep.
Right. And just based off of what I've seen with gouache, I wanted to do something that would allow me to work with like some heavy contrasts with like light and
Yep.
shadow.
Nice. Yep. And you can work over it with Prism pencil and things like that, and ink if you want to. So it's very good like that. It takes it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, you can with oils as well. Like you can work in with light Drew Struzan and his contemporaries. They use color pencil in with their oil paint. That's why they do it in airbrush.
Oh, I like that.
So it's so thin that they can then go working with the pencil over the top. But yeah, gouache you can go in and sharpen up areas as long as you're not applying it too thickly. If that makes sense.
Back to that picture.
Okay.
You got to go to the old lessons where the shadows are the thinnest part of your painting and your highlights are the thickest, the most applied.
The theme of the night, thick.
That makes perfect
sense. The theme of the night, thick. By the way, just so you know, as great as it is that you two are having this nice, intimate conversation, there are people in the chat.
Oh.
I can't see the chat.
Philip, wake up. But Philip, he also said, Kenny, what's up, big dog? Hey,
what's up, Angel?
Jesse Hansen is in the house, or as he calls himself, Catter. I said, looking great, guys.
Thanks, Jesse.
Barry asked if Kenny is using a brush pen. What kind?
I'm using the let me see. I'm using the Pentel pocket brush. It's the inking brush that I love to travel with, like when I do cons.
I'm just happy to see you.
Because it's handy, it's easy to refill. I carry the refills with me everywhere I go. Under normal circumstances, I would use some Sumi ink and this bad boy right here. Right, it gives me some nice line weights,
Mm.
and this guy right here. This is another Pentel product, Squeeze ink brush.
Nice.
This whole thing is the cartridge, and as you apply it, you'll see ink fill into this reservoir, and you can go in. Like this thing has lasted me a really long time. I think I've inked like my last, I don't know, few live drawings with that one brush, and I haven't had to change it out yet.
Geez, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But the Pentel is nice to travel with. And those refills, you can find them practically anywhere. So Phil, I think that when we're done with the stream today, you shoot me a PDF of the short sample book.
I was actually thinking of just giving the first book away in digital format for free for like a day, like on this day, anybody who's interested or something. But
Oh yeah, that
and
I mean that could
do,
work too.
I was also looking to do a free comic book day, but that's not till May. So,
Right.
but yeah, I'm not adverse to giving out, maybe the first book for free to get people to jump on board. But it wouldn't be printed because I can't do that overhead. But I'd give out the digital.
And digital format is what I mean. Like when it comes to webtoons is a
Uh,
website where people read digital comics,
right.
right?
Do you have to pay to be on there, or do they get a
Uh,
percentage
I
or something like
I
that? Or
I don't think so. Let me do a little research on it, and I'll get back to you on that. But from what I understand, you don't. It's not like a paid membership kind of deal, right?
Jesse's like, I'd love a copy. He goes, hook them like a drug pusher. Get them hooked and have them come back asking for more.
That's it. That's the idea. You know, and then Tumblr is another one because that's like personal blogs,
I
like
need
like
someone to handle my
Instagram.
social media, but the problem is I had got an intern before, and you know, they knew it's an internship, but then I met a girl, and that was over.
Ah, of course.
um, so I mean, if there's someone who can handle Twitter and all those things and help me get out there, it'd be great. But is my volume low, really?
No, I
Um,
can hear you fine.
but it's just hard. I can't manage all of it. I'm lucky. I can't even do Facebook and Instagram so well. And Instagram, like, I used to have a high following there, more than Facebook, and they kind of squashed me there, and it's crappy. So, I'll get like 40 likes when I used to get 140 likes. It's like, what the hell?
I think they're
Magic is looking
changing
awesome.
changing all the formats for those social media platforms. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't I don't I
Facebook
don't think you're
owns
alone.
Instagram, so
Yeah, but I
it's the
think they're
same
moving to
beast.
more. They're trying to capture the TikTok market by doing reels and stuff now. So
Yeah. So should I twerk or like do some sort of cosplay when I push tragedy? Then
There you
should I
go.
dress up as
sure,
tragedy or the fat breath of the dragon or
Wear
yeah,
some
why
cat
not?
ears. Wear some cat ears in a pink wig.
yeah, hell yeah,
And we can call you Phil Bosan.
yeah. Maybe I should push my boobies up into my neck. I'm not on TikTok, Zach. To be honest with you, I think TikTok it's the devil. But yeah, I mean, I know it would probably help me, but I'm not a fan of TikTok at all. At all.
It's a different crowd on TikTok.
It's the devil. Well, I mean, China owns it, and all it is a bunch of people, you know, with no morals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I So we got inks here from Sloppy Inks, said Rod, for the Superman. Let's share that. It
Okay.
is Zach, but I don't know. I don't want
Oh, it's looking
attention at
good.
the risk of my principles.
You got the hair perfect. I love it.
Oh yeah,
That's that real Dark Knight Returns Superman. That's fantastic.
indeed.
And the fist. How
Indeed.
Miller does
He
the
nailed the
large
chin.
fist. Yeah, that's good.
Indeed.
He nailed the chin.
Oh, why are you coming out blurry? What the heck?
Were you a fan of Miller's artwork? You guys?
Me?
Yeah, both of you.
No.
Frank Miller?
No.
Okay. So I like the way he uses light and shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not a fan of like his proportions sometimes and his character designs, but I can appreciate his character variation in his earlier work.
Mm. Yeah.
Like his stuff in the 80s and such, like I dug that.
His Daredevil stuff was okay, but I didn't really care for anything in the 90s and on Sin City. I didn't really care for his art either.
I kind of dug Sin City because I know what he was going for. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the noir stuff, so he was very loose with it, and I dug it. Because it was just very different, especially at that time.
It felt like a very much a continuation of Will Eisner's kind of style.
Yes,
Of the black sort of film noir, the White Rain. I like how he would flip the negative and positives on things like in Sin City, where you'd have the white glasses or the boot treads and things like that. But
absolutely. The way he played with negative space and give you that one little splash of color, like I dug that.
Yeah, and Rod's right. Yeah, Daredevil and Elektra, fantastic.
True.
By the way, Zach was saying that on TikTok, his very first, I just started with a couple of painting tutorials. My first has already 18,000 views.
Very cool.
Now, what kind of market is that, though? Are they buying?
Yeah, I still don't know how people make a living and monetize off it. It's a bit of a mystery to me, but I don't know. I'm sure people have worked it out.
Well, it's just you have to do a certain amount, like 4,000 hours of live streaming, and you have to have over 1,000 followers, and then they monetize you because they start putting ads on your thing.
Oh, right. So I suppose similar to YouTube.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I mean, I don't know if it's the same criteria, but it's the same thing. You get ads and all that. I don't know. I have to consider some things because I need to reach a larger audience. And that's the thing is, Facebook is really dropping the ball. To them, they're not. They're making millions, but they could do so much for the community
Yeah.
if they gave a shit. It's to the point where you can't even quantify when you buy their ads who they're reaching. Are they counting the same person that it goes to as each time? You know what I mean? Or and that's the first thing. And the second thing is, are they reaching who you want? And and you spend all this money and it feels like you're not getting anything out of it. But you used to, now you don't. Jessica, gotta go get some work done, guys. Keep the awesome work. Always a pleasure, Philip. If you ever want or need anything, you know how to reach me. Peace out. Thanks, Jesse. Have a good one.
Jesse.
Appreciate you coming out. So I just, you would think it'd be easy to reach so many people. I'm at almost 5,000 followers, friends on my list, and I have almost 1,000 followers. And what do I reach? 3% of them?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, I think we're almost done here.
Yeah, she's looking good, man. Nice job.
Great job. That was fantastic. As always, Kenny.
Thank you.
He went the Liefeld way, though, and didn't put the feet in.
Look. My proportions are nice. She's balanced. She's convincing. All right, I think we can pass up on the. I give you feet every other time.
I think
Right.
you need to make her boobies bigger.
She's a young girl. All
No,
right.
I'm making a facetious statement. I think that's the way her body should be built, and I think it was good that you did that.
Yeah.
I was making the facetious joke and statement in regards to earlier.
Yeah, I'm.
Keep up with me, man.
Trust me,
Keep up with me. Come on.
I'm not. Even though I am a fan of the old school '90s look,
Boobies up and
you
down.
know, not all of it makes sense.
I'm not on
Yeah.
TikTok. Listen, I'm a big fan of boobies. I am. I'm a huge fan of boobies, especially in real life. A big fan. To be honest with you, but I think that cartoons, it doesn't do it for me. It's just, I'm sorry, it's
Even though I am a fan of the old school '90s look, you know, not.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
You're getting a delay.
That was so weird.
I thought maybe I'd time jumped.
You're already in the future, Will.
I'm working so slow you lap me.
Will work so slow. You go back in time.
That's right. You caught me next week, this week.
Will's already in the future.
I am.
Check out what Zach's been working on. I'm gonna put this up. Hang on. What size is that, boss?
11 by 17, sir.
I just need you to confirm that. That's all.
Always 11 by 17.
I know, but we have to confirm it with people that may not know that.
Okay, no worries. It is my preferred pinup size.
Yeah, I love 11 by 17s. I mean, I'll do 9 by 12 on occasion, but I definitely love 11 by 17. As we always do, as we've been at this 2 hours and 37 minutes, we're going to wrap it up briefly, shortly, and Will is still not done. But we're going to offer up the work for sale, and I am going to show off Zach's work, and then if anybody else is drawn along, Gerald, we are going to show that off.
I'm anxious to see what Gerald came up with.
Yeah, and Zach did some nice stuff here. All right, so this is the Batman that he's working on now. He wrote "Hi, Phil, Will, and Kenny." That's so cool. Look at this.
Oh, that's cool. Nice job.
Very nice.
Hi, Phil, Will, and Kenny. See, I came first, not like your post. Amazing Will, and oh yeah, that guy Phil's hosting. Look at that.
That was great.
I'll give you an answer.
And look at this Joker he did the other day.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice and creepy. Very cool. Looks like a young Joker too.
Yeah.
Very nice work, Zach. Zach said, "Nice work, awesome work, Kenny."
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, Zach, great work, man. Love it. Let's show him again. There's the Joker from Zach Rodriguez, who's available for commissions and sells his art. So you should go check him out. And there's the Batman that he pencil sketched. Very nice. He said he loves the Batman too. Those two morons are racing.
Let me send you a clear scan of this bad boy.
So are you making that part of Legendary Portraits if it doesn't sell today?
Yep.
Who wants his Batman and his magic?
We had it on one of the latest series, but I'll just bring it forward.
Okay.
Cool.
Gerald, you still with us, buddy? What do you got? Show us. Zach says he's still working on the Batman. It's awesome, though. I can't wait to see it finished.
It's looking good.
Looking good, Mr. Cocktail. What? When? How? Why? Kenneth.
Yes.
How many pages have you roughed for the manga?
About 10. Like I'm gonna start like
Oh wow, okay.
The final comic boards.
Sweet. Gerald said, "Give me a moment." He's taking a picture. He's like, "Stop pressuring me, damn it." Art like this takes time, buddy. Oh, and he made a joke before Comics Cast. The reason why I said they were one of my favorites is mostly because of the way we joke around with each other and goofball and goof off. So no knock to any other host I've been with. Gerald's a great host. It's a great show. Let it out. Plus, I'm on there with an artist, really. So. How's that lovely lady of yours, Kenny?
She's great. She's great. She's been texting me throughout the live stream.
Yeah.
Cause she's when I warn her before I do a live stream, because like you can see the bedroom doors right behind me.
I want to go to bed. Damn it, let's go.
So no, it's like she's like she doesn't want to come up on camera. Like if she's got to come in here to like grab
She's a
stuff.
beautiful woman. She's as crazy as my wife.
Yeah, I love her to death.
Well, hopefully you'll love her more in life. And Will, how's your lovely wife and family?
They are all good, all doing well.
I would love to meet your wife someday, Will.
Yes, she's another one too that doesn't like walking on camera.
Yeah, well, it goes to show you. It's like I told you. I've never met a woman that realized how beautiful she was, how capable she was, how powerful she was, how talented she was. And us men got to pay for it. But we gladly pay because we love them, and they make us better men.
Very true.
And we need to stop. We need to stop forgetting that. I mean, that's the whole balance of the genders, right? We make each other better as we pick each other up on our deficits. And it's okay to admit you have a deficit as a human being or as a gender.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any. I'm pretty freaking perfect, but I mean,
goes without saying.
Yeah, I try to understand you normal humans.
You like to mingle with the humans.
Hey, sometimes you got to go mingle, right? I mean, I go to the dog park every once in a while, so.
Thanks a lot.
Right now, there's somebody's head blowing up. He's such an asshole. I'm gonna cancel him. Like, relax, I'm just playing.
You hear how he treats these artists?
Yeah. He's so horrible. He probably didn't like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Or Ben Kenobi.
Let's see. All right, I got it coming at you now, Phil.
You got it coming at me?
Yeah, hard and thick.
Is that the title of the show this week?
I couldn't help myself. It was the perfect setup.
Can't help myself and nobody else. Where the hell did he put him? Oh, there he goes. And book 4 is officially done.
Nice.
Damn, Chris Sotomayor is all pro. Book 5. Oh, yo, I'm telling you, man, we're already at page 10, Ricardo, and he's killing it. There's a splash page where Breath of the Dragon just had a fight with someone. And as he leaves the building wounded, tragedy there. And he's like, all right, you son of a bitch, here's round 2. And he does this splash page. And here's an example of what I was talking about with the AI art earlier. I had her standing in an alleyway that he comes out to. He does a worm's eye view, and she's perched above him on a light post. And he comes out and he looks up and sees her. And it's so much more dynamic. And that's why you can never rely on AI, and you have to rely on working with an artist.
It's the human experience. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Zach said, I have to say the work you guys do is very inspiring. Keep up the excellent work.
Thanks, Zach.
Hey, you're lucky
Appreciate
I haven't
that.
whipped out one of my art pieces. Oh. I put these boys to shame. They would look like David compared to Goliath.
Jeez.
I'd be getting all biblical on their ass. So here is the Kenny picture.
Didn't David beat Goliath? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Goliath let him.
Yeah.
Goliath
You
let
let
him.
him by dying. Yeah.
There you go. This piece is 11 by 17, and it is for sale. If you are interested, DM me.
Look at that work on the boots. Fantastic.
Thank
I
you.
love it. All the
Thank
straps and the shine.
Yeah.
I like how you leave that negative line to show separation in the straps. Very cool.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Check your message. There you go. You good?
That works.
All right. If you're interested in this piece, DM me. It is 11 by 17, penciled and inked, original art by Kenneth Calderon. My friend is from Georgia. He's funny. He goes, Calderon. I'm like, no, he's Puerto Rican, man. He's not from Mars. Calderon sounds like some like alien name, you know, Count Calderon or some shit.
That works.
It's the name of Aqualad.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's right.
Calderon.
And he goes, there's no E on the end of it, though. I'm like, he's Puerto Rican. There doesn't have to be.
There's no. Actually, I went to school with these girls that were their last name is Calderon, right? But they're Italian Puerto Rican, right? And through some research of my own, like I found out that my last name has Italian roots in it.
Well, it sounds like it could be, it has an Italian hybrid. Again, Spanish and Italian are very close too, as far as linguistically. So we're going to wrap this up shortly. We're just waiting on Gerald and giving Will a little more time to maybe finish the cowl.
I love the way this is turning out with Will.
Yeah.
That 5 o'clock shadow, I dig that a lot. It makes it like super gritty.
Yeah, it's fun doing that late shadow.
Very nice. I don't know how you do that from your head. How you envision that.
I guess because you consider it not as a drawing. You think, well, how would the shadow go in there, and how would that play out off there? I mean, that's what we're talking about. All those decisions that you make, as you're going along.
Gerald, oh Gerald. Gerald. Gerald.
Thanks, Rod. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he said, that's a beautiful piece. Warren Brown showed up. What's up, Warren? Gorgeous work, all you artists. Kick ass. That magic is fire. Very cool, man. Thank you, Warren. And on behalf of Kenny. And Warren, drop your links. I know you've got your comic book coming out soon. You're working hard on it. Great work. Warren is a hell of a nice guy. And thank you for your support on Tragedy, Chapter 3. Looking forward to getting Tragedy 4 in everybody's hands soon. We got 22 days left. There I am with the segues again. I'm awesome. Gerald's almost there. I think he's recycling the paper. Zach said, any plans for Batman Day next Saturday? I will be in Vegas, so I won't be able to host a show. By the way, do you still want to do that, Kenny? You said a tragedy show where you guys draw a tragedy. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna have to buy both pieces, which I don't have the money for. But
what about a dynamics one?
Ooh.
That'd be awesome, but right now with the campaigns going on, I need to push Tragedy. Dynamics is a couple of months away. Well, technically the debut is next month, but maybe one of you does Tragedy, one of you does Dynamics.
Yeah.
Dude, there's gonna be a Breath of the Dragon one shot, and it might be written by it might be drawn by a major Marvel DC artist
Named Kenny.
There's going to be.
I wish.
I have 2 other books coming out. I'm going to write. I already have them kind of in my head what I'm going to do. I want Rod to draw one of them. I want Will to draw Withered, and I don't know who's going to draw the other one. One is a superhero book, a team book. It's more serious. One is a solo hero book, and it deals with consequences versus conscience. Kind of like on Facebook. You know, there's the person who does the right thing because their conscience tells them they want to do the right thing. And there's the person who does the right thing because they don't want to face consequences.
Right.
And this character is going to be he's a very high moral person, high principle person. And when consequences aren't a factor anymore, we find out who we really are. Yeah, Rod.
Compelling stuff.
Superheroes rocks. What?
It's compelling.
Rod is like a big kid. I love Rod, man. He's an innocent soul, and he's a sweet guy, and he's a big kid, man. He's the fanboy in all of us. He's a gentle soul, not a mean spirit in his body. Good sense of humor. Yeah. He's a really good guy.
I agree.
Kenny too, but man, those Aussies, what bastards.
I was waiting for it.
That's a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Okay. Take your crocodile on the ass out. Meanwhile,
yeah, but you did.
Joey said. Yeah. Meanwhile, our buddy, the other buddy from Down Under, Matthew, he works for, I think, a distillery. Matthew Lawrence, he's like, you prick. You Irish prick. Yeah, Rod, I'm going to get you that Killer Croc figure. It's just right. When I had a chance to get it for a lesser price, I didn't have the money. And then when I did have the money, they jacked it up double the price. So give me time. I'm going to get you that Killer Croc figure. Not the original, not the original 3, because I don't have that kind of money. She texting you, Kenny?
No. I'm gonna post the magic illustration on Instagram.
Yeah, you do it most of the time, but don't forget to do that thing where it can share to Legendary's page.
Absolutely.
You can do it to my page too on Instagram. Feel free. Okay. Will should do it more often too. Will doesn't do it. I don't know if he knows about it.
What's that?
He just did it today. When you tag someone as a collaborator on a post,
right,
it appears on their page as well.
Do it to Legendary's page and do it to my page as much as you want.
Yes, I don't tag. I need to tag. I often link. I'll link someone in with it, but I don't tag them. I need to get better at that.
You want to have it directly put on my page, especially Legendary.
Yeah.
Dude, I want that Hiss tank though. My God, it's huge. It's like, I can't see, but whatever. My window's too small. But the figures are 6-inch figures, and the Hiss tank is comparable in size for the 6-inch figures. I'm buying that bad boy, just like the Thunder tank for the Thunder. Oh, I'm buying that Hiss tank. Hell yeah, that Hiss tank is sweet. That's
like an appliance in the house.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna be like at the end of the Flintstones when the cat puts me out on this.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't get the TIE Fighter for the Star Wars Black Series figures. I was tempted, but I didn't.
Oh, that was massive though.
I know. It was scale to them.
You need a room.
Yeah, oh, you need more than room. It was huge, but I'm getting this his tank. They can kiss my butt. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
They do some
I'm turning
amazing stuff
50.
with
I'm getting
figures now.
shit, man. I'm turning
So
50. This is my big 50 birthday. Spoil me.
Do
I made it this far without killing anybody. Spoil me. And I put up a post today. It said, if it wasn't for these girls, and it shows Kaylee with a picture of tragedy. And what people didn't understand is what the finishing of that sentence was. If it wasn't for these girls, how many people would be dead right now?
That's inspiring.
Listen, there are some people that this world would be better off without. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be part of it because I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want anybody hurting or suffering, but if they could somehow just move to Mars or blink out of existence, it really would help society. There's some shitty fucking people. And then there's some great people, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Yes.
Will had an earthquake for a second there.
I did. Sorry, I bumped it with my head.
That's huge in your noggin. All right, Gerald, where did you go to make the picture? To set the scan? My lord, did you run to Kinko's? What the hell, dude?
it.
He's on the bus right now going, I hope they're still on when I get back. Oh, Gerald.
Gerald.
Gerald is one of the nicest guys.
Okay.
Another one who doesn't know his talent. Did this cool X-Men piece he showed me yesterday.
The 90s X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out really well.
Hey, Rod, for my 50th, will you buy me the hiss? Do you love me, Rod? You can all join. You can all chip in and buy it for me.
Okay.
I'm kidding, of course. I wouldn't
not.
want it. No, I
Yeah,
really.
he wasn't kidding.
No, I swear to God, I am. I would never want that. Don't ever do that. Cheryl, where are you, Scooby Doo? It's more like Shaggy the Slacker right now. Let's get a Scooby snack. When I used to live in Middle Village, Queens, there was a guy who owned an actual mystery machine. He used to drive it around all the time.
That's cool.
Yeah, another guy had the General Lee. It was fun.
The General Lee.
I've seen the General Lee. Like,
yeah. I had one guy with the Starsky and Hutch car, and then one guy just had a pure white Lamborghini Countach. Oh,
nice.
That's my favorite car, a Lamborghini Countach.
Oof.
The 80s one.
Yes. You do your own Cannonball Run.
Yeah. Rod said, I'm going to have to sell a lot of tick and hards to buy that hiss. I don't know what the hell that means in English, but you're welcome to translate. Gerald said it will be worth the wait, I hope. So he's stalling. He's still drawing.
A lot of thick and hearts. That's what he meant.
I know. I was just being a bullbuster. He is so focused. You dirty man. You are one filthy. Why don't you go buy a Steph Wilson book, you dirty, dirty man? You know, Steph Wilson has been promoting the hell out of my book, my campaign, and I really appreciate that. Well, that's the goal, buddy. Next year, we'll get a big Legendary Illustrations booth. I mean, we'll get a bunch, and we'll all get in there, and we'll make a splash. Kind of like the fat guy jumping in a pool. Big splash.
Cannonball.
Cannonball. It's funny, Melanie.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Melanie's like 50 pounds soaking wet with combat boots and rocks in her pockets. She's like, cannonball. She jumps in the water. It's like, poop. I jump in the water and the water jumps out first. It says, oh, shit. I feel a lot lighter. I used to be 260, 265. That's weird. It didn't come through yet, Gerald. Show me what you got. Oh, it just came through now. That's so weird. Oh, wow. God damn. This boy is good. You fellas got to check this out. As soon as
Yeah,
it
check it out.
uploads
Let's have a
here,
look.
it's not loading for some reason. Yeah, it's really nice, Rod. Yeah, I guess you that's why you're focused on words thick and hard. Your name is Rod.
Jesus. There goes the G rating. There goes the Disney rating
Oh, we
for our
lost
show.
that a while ago. I threw a few F bombs. All right, check this boy. Check this bad boy out.
Oh wow,
That's great.
That's some gritty
that is nice.
stuff. Nice work on the belt, the buckles on the platform boots, and
Yeah,
Always
looking
love
like a
his
gritty
perspectives.
Batman.
His camera angles are always very dramatic.
very
Yeah.
nice.
He does a lot with his tight close-ups. Like when he does his tight shots, you don't miss anything. Like a lot of people, they'll do a tight shot and it misses something. Like
Yeah.
you may not get the whole picture of what's going on. He's very good at the tight shots.
He's very economic with his space. Like there's nothing wasted. Like everything's
Yeah.
thought about.
Background. And he did this in the 2.5 hours. That's pretty impressive. What size is that, and what is that on, Gerald? And I get to see it bigger here in more detail. That's just sweet. Where's my friggin' Nightcrawler, you bastard? And my tragedy cover. Love the way you always make the piece so dynamic. Copier paper. Dude, you should be selling these. I don't know what's wrong with you. What are you sitting on them for? You want me to sell them on a show? I'll sell them live on a show. Yeah, that's beautiful. Good job. You know, him and Zach and Rod. Just it's wonderful to see the art that's drawn along with it, with the show. And what do you mean they wouldn't sell? Would you stop being the dumbest ass I've ever met? I'm gonna start calling you Frenchie because your name should be Dumas. No,
What?
they're not gonna sell. Of course they're gonna sell. People are phoning over now. I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me the chance to sell them for you? I bet you they'll sell.
Yeah.
If they don't, then you can just let me have them all. Since they're just not going to sell, and they're going to sit. Why don't you just give them all to me then?
There you go.
I hate that defeatist attitude. How you speak of yourself says volumes. Believe in your work. You are talented, or I will smack the shit out of you when I see you. It'll be love smacks, like 1, 2, 3 smacks. But all I'm saying is,
Like the
your
count.
art is really good, man.
One smack.
Yeah.
2 smacks.
Three smacks.
I just don't get you, man. People are telling you how good it is, and I get it. Maybe you don't believe it, but they're the ones spending the money. Give them a chance to buy it. You might surprise yourself. What is the? Is it going to crush you if it doesn't sell? Oh my. Oh my Lord. You know, because the kids are still on the couch watching TV, they should have been in bed an hour ago.
They go very quiet when they're doing
Well, I
that.
told them it's
They know.
Friday. I told them it's Friday. I'll let them stay up a little later because I'm on the live stream, and God knows by the time Will gets something done, it'll be freaking 3 days from now. I don't know why, but I like Will's laugh. It makes me. I don't know. I like hearing Will's laugh. Imposter syndrome. All right, Gerald. You know that phone conversation that we talked about having? You're about to get it.
Live.
Yeah, really. Gerald, in all seriousness,
This is
put
your
you on the
intervention.
spot. If you really don't hold them in high value, why don't you mail them to me and I'll look to sell them for you? I'm not gonna lie, I'll take my percentage, but I'll look to sell them for you. What's the harm? Is your ego gonna be crushed if they don't sell? You already think they won't. What if they do? Get your art out there. Start your art career. What is the harm in trying? You have to make yourself uncomfortable to succeed. If you stay safe and comfortable, you'll never grow. That's what I teach my kids. That's what I'm teaching you. I'm older than you, damn it. I'm old and wise. I'm old and gray. I'm like Gandalf the White and shit. Come on.
That's now I would have watched all of Lord of the Rings if he'd talk like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick Sauron's ass.
Hey, listen, you little hairy-feeted punks.
Yeah.
I'm Gandalf the Wise and
you
shit.
Hairy-feeted pugs. And Saruman, you bitch ass.
And I'm not walking anymore. I'm not walking anymore. I'm sick of walking.
You better stay up in that tower. I'll break this staff over your ass.
Dude, that's the Lord of the Rings I would have watched. Maybe you've got an action figure.
Lord of the Rings in the hood.
Yeah, that's right.
I will shiv you, motherfucker.
Lord of the Rings has just had enough. You know, he just had enough. Pro Gandalf, he just had enough.
Got Gandalf and falling down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See the size of this burger? Does that look like that picture, motherfucker?
Yeah. Do you like fireworks? I got a wagon of fireworks.
Yeah. Dragon's gonna go flying right up your ass. I can't wait to show my kids that, but they're still a little young though. Some scenes are a little scary with the orcs and stuff.
You been watching the new series?
I saw the first episode. The second one came out tonight. I didn't see it yet. And Cobra Kai started today.
Ooh.
Yes, my daughter told me all about that.
No, that show's fun, man. It's just
I watched the first 3 seasons, but she's way into it. Like, yeah, she doesn't even get all the 80s reference, but she's into it. I'm there going, is that a Firebird? Is he driving a Firebird? Like, that's, you know, you grew up with that kind of stuff. But
yeah, someone put up a meme. It showed Smokey and the Bandit and said, "This was my Fast and Furious."
Yeah, there you go. Correct.
So there's Gerald deflecting. Love what Kenny and Will did. Good deflection. Don't work on me. Remember, I'm good at psych.
That's why I nervously laugh all the time.
Is that what that is? You're afraid I'm going to come after you next?
It's a long walk.
Yeah. Listen, and I can walk on water. I had my father's friend, not the sharpest tool in the shed. He thought you could drive to Australia.
Oh,
This is
at one time you could have. He's not wrong. At one time you could have.
At the dawn of time, before the continent shifted.
Yeah, Pangea, you know.
Yeah. Take Route 66 and you're right there in Melbourne.
Which ice age is he talking about?
Yeah, really. Yeah, well, you know, maybe he was thinking you had the Lotus from James Bond.
There you go. He's channeling his life on Lemuria.
Kenny's like, "Oh my God, Will, will you get done? Because I can't listen to this fucking guy anymore."
I'm out.
No, I'm posting right now, dude. I'm putting everything up on Instagram.
OnlyFans page.
Yes, my OnlyFans.
Nipples, tassels.
What? What happened then? Sorry, I tuned out and then came back in, and that's what I heard.
Talk about OnlyFans. Yo, Kenny, man, I can't wait to see what you do with Zealot versus Tragedy. So we're doing Zealot, you know, the Jim Lee's character versus Tragedy on a sketch cover.
You going to show Jim Lee?
Yeah, right. So we can tell him he's exist.
Just say, Jim, this is how it's done.
Yeah,
well, this is the actual.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, I've grown to really appreciate drawing like women in fight scenes.
Yeah.
I honestly think women look better in fight scenes for me just because they have the more sleeker figure.
Sure.
And as much as men are probably more athletic as far as in most cases muscle tone and body mass, etc., women have that sleek athletic build. And it's a
Hmm.
lot more fun to do those dynamic poses, I would think, with a woman.
Yeah. I think it's because I loved watching the athleticism of like Spider-Man in the Ditko books,
Yeah.
and seeing Spider-Man be like very nimble,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with the dynamic poses, and then like later on with what McFarlane did. And there's another artist that I love that did some really nice stuff with Spider-Man. Claudio Castellini. He did.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
You familiar? He
Yeah.
did. He's like, I discovered him like with the Amalgam series, the Marvel versus DC books.
Yeah.
And I loved the way he would do Silver Surfer and like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like
Hi,
like
Glenn.
very thin but like ripped,
Yeah.
and his posing when it came to those characters was very dynamic. So I think around that time I started drawing women more, and I really appreciated how how you can manipulate the postures and play around with different angles. Like you had more wiggle room to play with
Yeah.
different angles and with the female body when
I think drawing women would probably be harder, right?
you know what, it was harder for me. Like I didn't
It's
draw women until like high school.
Look, to do
Look,
things
if you couldn't get
rugged,
if you couldn't get them earlier than high school, I get it. But
rugged and rough is easier than
you couldn't
beautiful
draw
and graceful.
Yeah.
It always
how
is,
dare Will make a poignant comment over my stupid ass joke?
But it's the same as drawing. It's the same as drawing kids. Kids are hard to draw.
Yeah.
Gerald, Mark
It's
Silvestri draws
unforgiving.
everything beautifully. Okay.
What's that?
Gerald was talking about Mark Silvestri. Sorry, Will, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off.
Mark's about. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like there's no, everything's obvious when you're drawing a child or a beautiful woman, because there's no ugly creases or wrinkles or things you can hide in. It's all on the page,
Right.
Come to me, little babushka. Come here. You were just on live before. Come say hi. Come on, kitten.
Is it just us three, or is there anyone else watching? Has everyone gone home?
No, there's people here. Yeah, Gerald brings up Art Adams with the X-Babies. Sweetheart, come on. Come say hi. Here's my kitten. She is back.
The Return of Kitten.
The Return of Kitten. I want to do a children's book called Kitten and Bear.
There you go.
These are the bucket lists I had for my life. I wanted to record a musical album, which I have one almost done.
Nice.
I wrote and sang and played the drums to. I wanted to write a prose book. I wanted to write a comic book. I wanted to write a children's book. If I do all those, I've accomplished everything that I really wanted to do in life. Outside of course, getting married and having children and stuff. So the only thing left to do is that children's book. What do you think?
Well, lucky for you, you've got a stable of creators there that can help you.
Yes, I
True.
do. There's that old Eddie Murphy joke about the bear and the rabbit in the forest.
Yep.
So maybe I could do something like that with bear and kitten. Bear wipes his butt with the kitten. So this is the joke, and I'll say it in the clean version. A bear and a rabbit are in the forest, and they're going poop. You know the joke? How do you know the joke? I did tell you before. And the bear says to the rabbit, "Does poop stick to your fur?" And the rabbit says, "No." So the bear wipes his butt with the rabbit.
They've been in there watching Eddie Murphy Raw while you're on live stream.
Yeah, really. Daddy, what did he mean when he said have a coconut smile and shut the up?
They just say it at the dinner table out of nowhere, you know.
See, the thing is, I'm growing my kids up. This is one of the problems with pop culture right now. I think when we were growing up, we had one leg in our parents' generation and one leg out. I was watching
Yeah.
Little Rascals while watching Thundercats and G.I. Joe and He-Man. I was
Yeah.
watching both. I was watching the Addams Family every day and the Munsters while watching, different
Yeah.
Strokes and whatever.
Yeah.
So we were cultured in that sense, music-wise. I was listening to Frank Sinatra and Elvis
Yeah.
and Three Dog Night and Steppenwolf while I was listening to Genesis, Journey, and Rush, and Billy Joel. So we were cultured in that respect. Now, you ask somebody about something that came out 10 years ago, and they don't have a clue.
Yeah.
They don't know anything.
We were really the rerun generation, weren't we? Like, they just don't do that anymore. Like,
speaking of rerun, I used to love What's Happening.
Yeah. Go home and watch Gilligan's Island and Flipper and
Yeah.
all these things on telly, and
Yeah.
it's just not done anymore. Like, even old things like Leave It to Beaver. Like,
Yeah. What was the one with Heidi and the kids and Mr. French?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
Family
Family Affair, wasn't it?
I beat you. Sorry, I beat you.
Oh, there you go. With the little red kid and the little redheaded
the Ghost and Mrs. Muir.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, we were watching all that, and then I was watching Mr. Belvedere. So
yeah.
I think we were more cultured. We were more grounded in two different. That was Gen X. That was the last great generation, I think, because
that's what they say.
They don't know anything past the last 5-10 years. They just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think they need that. I think they need to bring back more of that and introduce these kids, because and I'm being serious. When I run into parents that do the same thing I do, and did even longer than me, like the kids are older, and they introduce them to the older stuff, those kids seem more well-rounded, more adjusted to their surroundings, more aware, and less gullible and naive to the world. They seem to be just more well-adjusted, good all-around kids. I don't know. I obviously haven't done any control groups or studies, but it just appears that way. Yeah. And I wonder if they should do that, show, because there is a big difference. And I think we've, like when you're around someone for 20 years, you don't notice their weight gain or weight loss. You don't notice the changes as drastically as someone who just shows up after 10 years, right?
Right.
Well, that's what's happening with the conditioning of TV and stuff and movies. We're slowly being conditioned over time that we don't see how we're being conditioned. For example, we loved Happy Days. It was wholesome. Now you watch and you're like, this is corny as shit. This sucks. Yeah. Because we've been conditioned slowly to the gritty, nasty, dark shit. Yeah. And that's why I get concerned with some of these messages and shows, because they are very subtle and subliminal. And you can tell that people get brainwashed easily because all of a sudden they start using the taglines and the catchphrases that the media is using.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I hear MAGA Republicans everywhere. It's like, I thought it was just Republicans and liberals. All of a sudden we got MAGA Republicans. It's like new offset groups. I don't know.
Mega?
Anyway,
did you say mega? Is it MEGA?
MAGA, as in Trump supporters. Make America great again.
Okay, right.
So it's like, and all of a sudden I see people using that, and that's like this new thing that the president used and media is pushing, and you can tell those that don't think for themselves because they just start parroting what's all over pop culture and media. Yeah. And I don't care what side of the aisle you hate Trump, you like Trump. I don't care. I don't care. But just think for yourself. And in culture, it's happening. Movies and shows are giving you these. They're force feeding you opinions, and you don't even realize it. and it's altering the thoughts of people and changing them. And I think that's why people are different now, and they're not as adjusted as people that have been opened up to older shows that were much more well-rounded and more positive, and they weren't pushing some sort of hidden message agenda. I mean, we're living in They Live right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Call me paranoid, but we are. I mean, right now, Will is trying to tell you, you want to buy this Batman.
Put the sunglasses on
Yeah.
and buy the Batman.
Yeah. It's so good.
Consume. Consume and expand.
But, and again, I just want to make it clear these are all my opinions. Some are based on actual fact and research, some are not. They are not the opinions of Kenny or Will. They will express their own opinions. And I also would like to preface that if you don't like my opinion, that's okay. But if you think you're going to cancel me for it, I don't get canceled.
Doesn't do cancel.
No, I don't. Sorry, I called in that day.
Yeah. I don't do cancel.
It's funny because I was mad on a stream one day and I said, I don't get effing canceled. And people were yelling at me. I should have made that a t-shirt. Probably could have sold a bunch of them. I don't like the political arguing. I feel it's giving into what they want. They want to divide us. They want me fighting with Kenny because of shade of skin. They want me fighting with Will over, I don't know, political ideology. And they want me fighting with a woman because of gender. And it's like, stop. Can we stop? We're all flawed. We all want the same things. We want to feel relevant. We want to make sense of life. We want to be happy. Am I wrong?
No, that's
You're not wrong at all.
That's what we want.
Why can't we focus on those common threads? And why can't we celebrate our differences? We either knock each other for differences or try to act like we don't have them.
Look, I think what I see is I think there's a lot more people now that are waking up to that fact that let's just stop bickering about things that have been pushed on us that we should be fighting about, and it's not right. It's not reality. But unfortunately,
So go ahead, sorry.
That's the pressure that they put us on, Phil. Like it's people coming on an 8 when they ran out the gate in the morning, like they're fired up and angry and stressed out and anxious, and
dude,
let's just do some good art.
The best thing you can do for your mental health is turn off the TV, turn off the news at least.
We don't have the news in our house. We don't have anything like television in our house. If we watch a movie, we watch it. That's it.
He watches a fire in a box.
Correct.
Joe DeMarco is here. Joe DeMarco is one of my best friends. He's that brother I never got the chance to kick the shit out of. He is who Joe is based on in the book Tragedy, Joe DeMarco. Joe is one of those guys you love and want to slap at the same time, and I mean that with the utmost affection. I would go to bat for him any day. And Joe likes
to bat to him.
Yeah, right. And Joe's a big fan of your work, Will, and he likes to joke around about how Tragedy would sell more if I focused the book more on him. So Will is going to draw that cover that you came up with that I think is awesome. Will is going to draw it. So I think it's a nice thing because he loves Will's work, and it's going to be fun. It's a cool concept that Joe came up with. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
Joe would go on Instagram and mess around and be like, "What's with this stupid costume bitch or whatever? You should put, she's a waste or whatever." And people don't know that he's my friend and he's joking because the character's based on him. And they would get mad at him and go after him, and I'd have to be like, no, he's my friend, he's just kidding. Or I'd get private messages like, that guy's a dick.
He's always done it like that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he is, isn't he? What a jerk.
Just lean into it, Phil. Yeah.
It's like, man, isn't he a little troll? I hate those little trolls.
Funny.
By the way, I just want to do a shout out. There's two Kickstarter campaigns going on right now that are slowly climbing to their goal. They're both really good. The creators of both books are awesome, and the books are really good. The first one I want to say is he goes by Elston Christopher online, but his name is Christopher Elston, and his fiance or girlfriend Chastity Lassiter. First of all, they're expecting a baby boy in 3 weeks, so God bless them. I wish them the best. They have a book called Rabbit's Badass Song. I'm just telling you right now, this is a really good book. Kenny, Will, you guys would really like it. Um, it's a black and white revenge tale that gets even more deeper. It's well
Mm.
written. The characterization is great. The character designs are awesome. It's my favorite indie book that isn't mine.
Mm.
It's really good, and their book 3 is on Kickstarter right now. And if people, I have no idea why this book isn't at like 10 grand immediately.
What's it
I
called again?
really
The rabbit. What's it called
Rabbit's
again?
Badass Song. So long story short, badass refers to an older black movie, or I believe, or something. It ties into the roots of black entertainment.
Okay.
Um, um, it is such a good book. On the surface, with all the political climate, some people might think, "Oh boy, it's anti-white because it's about a black guy in the South that was hung from a tree." It really isn't. It isn't. It isn't about that at all. It just has to do with his origin. They're telling a story that does not preach any message to you at all, um, and it's just a good tale. It's well crafted and written, and I have the privilege of knowing what's coming. Kenny drew it already. You're really late, dumbass. This is what Kenny drew. Magic, 11 by 17. It's available. Put your money where your mouth is. Head of the Italian mafia in my book. Anyway, by the way, guy never plugs the book. Guy never plugs the book. Prick.
I love it. I love a good fictional insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only magic here is that you actually haven't been beat up yet. Anyway, wise ass. Seriously, what the hell is it? Oh, Rabbit's Badass Song. It's on Kickstarter right now, and I put it on my updates. Please go check it out. It is a book well worth it. They have a little boy coming. Let them have a really monumentous, wonderful, fantastic month between success of the campaign and the birth of their child, which obviously is the more important thing. But why not have both? Go check it out. Rabbit's Badass Song. It is a great book. I highly recommend it by great people. And Ricardo's working on two crossover prints between our characters right now. The other one, his name is not his name. The book's name. I'm drawing a blank because Alpha Dogs is the book he does that I'm really familiar with. John Dexter is a really good guy, and he did a book called Alpha Dogs. He's on issue 3 coming out next month that you should check out. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're an animal lover. It's a really good book about superhero dogs, but not in the way you think. It's actually mature. It's good, well written. I like it a lot. But right now he has Dime Store Detective. I don't know why I couldn't think. I'm sorry. It's a mixture of supernatural and detective, True Detective. It's like Constantine and True Detective. It's got supernatural and it's like it and True Detective. It's really cool, and I trust his writing based on Alpha Dogs. I was not notified that my character would be taking part in any crossovers. Oh, he doesn't. Don't worry. He stays in Tragedy. I got your royalties right here for you, Joe. Size 13. Size 13. You get your 5% right up your yin yang.
Yeah, it's much like what I saw of it, because I went and looked at his Kickstarter. It looks like the Maltese Falcon sort of meets Supernatural.
Yeah, and it's a cool, and then he even adds like bootleggers and like down south and stuff. So it's really original creative stuff that is coming out, man. Well, Glenn, your book isn't any is on page 2, so we'll get there. But we're doing King Alma for Glenn, which is a D&D fantasy series. So we're looking forward to that too.
Love D&D.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. King Alma and Alma the King. Sorry, Alma the King. And Kevin Stewart is penciling it extremely slowly right now. Anyway, so True Detective is on Kickstarter right now, and I think they're like $300 away from funding, with I think 14 days to go, 12 days to go, and he's pooping a brick. He's gonna fund, but please alleviate him of his pooping.
All the
Okay?
brick.
Yeah, I mean, pooping bricks hurts. Can you go support the book, even if you just get the PDF or share it out? Both books are worth it. I promise you. I haven't read True Detective, Dime Store Detective yet, but based on his Alpha Dogs writing, he's got my trust. So please go check them out. They're also at my latest updates. I'm going to add them to the bottom of my page on my Kickstarter. So check them out. He's also got a really cool with two dogs fighting an homage to Hulk 181 that he's doing. It's going to be a cover. It's going to be fun. So check them out. John Dexter, Dime Store Detective, and then Alpha Dogs next month. Ballsy guy doing back to back like that. And then you've got Flash Delirium LLC, which is owned by Christopher Elston and Chastity Lassiter, and they have their book called Rabbit's Badass Song. And keep an eye out for Glenn Ackham's King Alma the King. It's gonna be awesome. All right, Rod is gone. He's going. He's gonna crash. It's no longer hard and thick. He's going to sleep.
He's out.
We're at 3 hours and 32 minutes. Well, maybe 3 hours because I was on a half hour earlier. Shoot, we're on 3 hours and 32 minutes, and none of us passed out and fell asleep during this live stream. That's a joke. I'm sorry. It's a tasteless joke about a creator recently. But, you know. All right, Will.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, but you're going to have to finish the rest on your own. It looks fantastic.
It's the way it is.
It really does.
Should have had him doing the Batusi.
Then they'll be painting for another 15 years.
I can see it now. I'm like, guys, I can't believe it. My daughter's graduating college. And he's like, hey, I got it done.
I got the thing done.
Yeah.
DC Comics has collapsed. You know, the world's changed, but I'm still painting.
It started at 7, you dumbass. Pay attention. Wake up. It even tells you the time up in the corner. What are you watching? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you live on the East Coast, you dummy.
Are you talking to me? What? I don't understand.
Big dummy? No, Marco.
I know.
Big dummy. You know, you big dummy. I'm like Sanford and Son. You big dummy. Dude, that looks fantastic. You have to do a Kingdom Come Batman too.
Oof. Yeah, he's on the list. Kingdom Come Superman at the moment. That's the one I'm about to start.
And then you should do a Superman, the Dark Knight Superman. You can make the sets.
Yeah, that's right. The legendary set.
I know it's right. I said it. Charles is with us. You know why Charles popped in and said, "Great work, guys," because he wanted to remind me that I should talk about his book too. And that's smart, Charles. You're right. I'm working on Charles' Kickstarter page now. It's almost done. Charles W. Morgan has a crime noir. Say that fast 10 times. Crime noir book, and it's called Cold Cutter. It takes place in New York, and it's a noir detective story. He drew it and inked it. He's got a cool cover inked by Joe Rubenstein. And he has a cover by
this guy,
Kenny Calderon. And actually, he's got two. He's got the black and white gray tone variant.
Yeah.
Joe said Will's doing the Silverhawks. Leave him alone. Yeah. Did you see? He already
sketched it up.
Yeah. He already sketched it out. The Quicksilver. So Charles is going to be launching on September, is it 26th or 27th? I don't remember. I know I'm doing a Kickstarter page and I don't even remember. He doesn't know how to drop the link yet. Shit. I got to teach him that. Yeah, tomorrow I'm doing a tutorial with Charles to learn how to navigate Kickstarter because nobody did that for me. September 27th, we are launching the Kickstarter. It goes live, so be there to support him.
What time is that,
Charles,
Philip?
we haven't decided yet, but I'll get that to you once I get that link tomorrow because
Yeah,
I got to
let me
help
know.
him market.
Yeah, let me know. I'll jump on.
Charles is one of the really, really good people in life. I mean that sincerely. He is a good man. He's a good person, and he's talented, and his book is cool. And I'm not even a noir fan, but I got to read the script ahead of time, and I like it. And his art style matches, and he's working hard at this while he runs his own business during the day, and he works hard. This guy, his birthday was 2 days ago, and he worked the entire day till 10 o'clock at night, and then came home and gave me what I needed for the Kickstarter. This is a guy that you got to get behind and back. He deserves
He's a good
it.
guy. Yeah.
He earned it. He deserves it. And if not, I'm going to toilet paper your house.
And he suggested Batman tonight.
Gerald said you can be a guest on the 25th on Let It Out, Charles. That's a good show to be on to get notoriety. And you are an artist, so you can draw live with them.
There you go.
Talk to Gerald.
Great show.
No, that's all him. I don't need to make a cameo. I'm not going to step. I'm not robbing anybody's thunder. That's all you and Charles. But thank you, Charles. Talk to Gerald. If you need an introduction, I'll be happy to make one. That's a really good show to go on and they get good viewers, and they have art fans and Kickstarter followers, and Gerald's a good guy and he's a really good host. And Will Pleydon can be a guest on the 25th as well.
There you go.
Yeah, well, he won't get back to you because you're beneath him, Gerald. So that's that. How much more do you have to do?
Me?
Yeah.
I've got to finish the grey up here. I've got to finish detailing the cowl, and then I'll let it dry, and then I'll come back and do final touches.
All right, so fuck that. All right, we gotta go.
No, I want you to stay for 14 more hours. That's what I want.
Probably gonna be going to sleep. Actually, no, I got work in the morning. I have to work straight through until through Tuesday because Wednesday I leave. I'm going to Vegas. I'm gonna do the Vegas show. Amazing Vegas.
Oh, very cool.
I'll be selling tragedy there. I'm not bringing the artwork just because I'm afraid of the travel. Doing a lot. I'm going to Phoenix first and then driving to Vegas, and also because my friend who owns he's got a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 20 comic booth is giving me a small section of his table.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you don't want to overstep that.
Will.
I think Aunt Boo's there, isn't she?
Yes. Will. Joe is frantically looking for the Quicksilver sketch. You didn't post that, did you? I thought you did.
No, I can show you now. It's right behind me.
Yeah, put it in the DM or show it to him live. Hang on, let me just put the camera on you for a minute.
Yeah, give me a second.
There you go, Joe.
All right.
Nothing like delaying him more. It's not moving fast enough as it is, right, Joe? Okay. Skeletor.
Phantom. There it is.
All right, over to the right more.
There you go. How's
there
that?
You go. You got the rings of light, though. Jeez. There you go. That's better. See it, Joe? Now, can't wait to see that thing painted, huh?
Yeah, Quicksilver. That's done. So I've only got Vampirella to draw left for the Series 1. And then we'll be
Skeletor.
Painting. So there's Skeletor, then there's Tigra from Thundercats. Yeah. Robin.
Nice.
And Batgirl. There we go. So I'm knocking things out of here. Reed Richards.
That is awesome. That one I like a lot. He said, wow.
And Namor. That's the one we were talking about before.
Very nice.
Yeah. What is he holding?
That's an actual Atlantean symbol.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That was found in ancient Egypt. Kingdom Come Superman.
Ryan
Yeah.
wants that print really bad.
The Flash.
Nice.
We got Colossus.
Flash. Oh, hell yeah. Flash. Flash Gordon. Tarzan. Flash Gordon. Tarzan.
The Good
Dude.
Doctor.
Oh, hell
Good
yeah.
doctor.
The Good Doctor. And then you got, the Spirit. Not Spirit.
Which,
The Shadow.
He was sold, though.
Carnage.
Shadow was sold.
And the Ghost Rider.
Nice.
So that's series 2, just about there. But just working on this Masters Universe, trying to finish this one off. Ready to go?
Yeah, that's for Chris Miller. Look at
That's
that.
looking good.
That's getting there
That's
slowly.
You made.
But I just love the bright colors.
You made a crappy character like Spikor look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not there yet, but he's getting there. He's interesting colors and bizarre design, like just bizarre. What's going on with the arm? He's got,
How are we friends? Look at Joe. How are we friends? How are we friends? Don't you even blaspheme against Kurt. I will kick your ever-loving ass. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. It's been quite a while, but look at that.
Clown
That
osses.
is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. You know what, Joe? You're lucky I took your 5 foot nothing ass and made you 6'1" in the book. Danny DeVito looking little bastard. You dare insult Piotr. All right. Kenny, what do you got to say? What's going on?
What's left? I got the Spider-Man Metal Universe released last week.
Tell them what that is, though.
Oh, so from Upper Deck, right? They just dropped the Spider-Man Metal Universe. Those sets are still like being opened. Those box sets. I did a run of sketch cards, original art on that set. So
cool.
Chances are like you'll come across some of my stuff. Because that stuff gets dropped in the boxes and distributed nationwide, right? There's that. There's the work that's being done on the tragedy manga. Okay, which is also really, really fun so far. I'm preparing some new art for New York Comic Con. Alongside the lovely Mr. Phil Russert. Is that a good adjective, Phil? The lovely?
Lovely?
The lovely?
Striking?
Okay.
Heroic?
The ravishing Phil Russert?
Like Rick Rude.
Like Rick Rude?
he ain't got nothing on these packs.
And commission spots are open. All right. So if anyone is interested in commissioning me to do any pinup art, any cover art, please contact Phil. Phil is the contact for any commission work.
He's the source.
Yes, he is the man.
The source of the force.
But if you just want to tap in and say hello, I can be found on Instagram at wild_inks INX_Ken or wild_inks_studios with a Z.
Cool. Will, come back from the past where you've gone so slow you've actually traveled there. And so what do you got to say for yourself, sir?
Well, I guess you've seen what we've been working on for Legendary Series 2, so that's coming out soon. Finishing up, I'm always hoping to accepting commissions, but we're kind of banked up at the moment. We've got a fair bit on the boiler.
You're on 3 books.
Yeah, it's a bit
You're
going
doing
on.
Covers.
So that's all happening, and but again, to reiterate what Kenny said, is to contact Philip for any queries, requests, or sales. You can find his link if you're not following this page, obviously, but you can find the link above my page on Instagram and Facebook as well. So there you go.
So we appreciate you guys coming out with us tonight. Joe says you didn't want the character being too perfect next to tragedy. It's understandable. I should have made you look like Pip the Troll. And in all seriousness, we do appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us, whether it's for 15 minutes or the full 3 hours and a half, because you're crazy people. We appreciate all those who are regular buyers of the art. We have some regular customers, which is very detrimental and not detrimental, is very instrumental in the success of any industry or company or whatever. So we're really grateful to those that keep coming back for more. We're grateful for even the one-hit wonders. Jump on board. These artists are going to be a household name soon enough. So get it while it's hot, because as you get more popular, things get expensive. And these guys are dirt cheap for what they do. We're actually robbing ourselves, and that's not a infomercial plug. I'm not doing ShamWow here. I'm being serious. These guys are worth more than we're charging. You're getting fully painted pieces for $200. Come on, guys. Really. I mean, that's better than what Frank Miller would do, and way less expensive. And Kenny's, we're going to show one more time his magic. It's 11 by 17. I mean, come on, guys. It's fully inked, penciled, original art. 11 by 17. That's almost, it's considered a full figure character because only the feet are missing. It's not 3/4, it's full figure. So
that's full figure. Yep.
And if you wanted a background added to it for a little extra money, you just tell us. We're not going to charge you a lot more, but we'll add a background for a few bucks more. You're not going to find this quality art for these prices. There are some people out there that have no business charging what they're charging. So come support. You're going to get, you ain't getting the original of that cover. That's mine. Yeah, freaking cotton picking mine. I own all the published work, pal. Besides, I need something to throw darts at. So just thank you for your support. Please jump on the legendary wagon here, because we're going places and we want you to come with us. And we have some really talented artists for affordable prices. Most of them are on projects right now, but inquire if you'd like to hire someone for sequentials and or cover work, and we'll see if they're available and work it out. Page rates are very affordable for professional level work. And we're easy to work with, and we never, ever, ever miss a deadline, because we'll never commit to something we can't do.
Indeed.
So as we decide to go, get your own. I am getting my own, unless you're paying for that original cover, fool. And I'm still going to have Will mail it to me. Anyway, so who wants to start it off? We're going out here. All right, Kenny sucks at the second one. You sound like an old Italian guy. So let's you know what though, his Aussie accent isn't going to help. But all right, Kenny, you start it off, Kenny. What do we got here? Go for it.
Be legendary.
Is that my cue?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
And have fun storming the castle.
There you go.
Worst accent.
Hey.